Today on Judge Faith, a car owner expects a mechanic to transform his lemon into lemonade.
He had all his tools, he had on the mechanic shirt, he was kind of greasy that day. He was in a decent vehicle, so, he fitted the description of a mechanic.
I replaced the spark plugs and I replaced the wires, and then the vehicle wouldn't start.
So he has on a mechanic shirt and he's driving a decent car, so in your book, he's good.
And later, a community activist and a New York entertainment consultant find themselves in court over a fee for a Brooklyn Fashion Week fundraiser.
He basically said that the designers weren't gonna come due to my poor planning.
Your Honor, first of all, I must say I'm not a magician. I had told her that I don't guarantee anything.
You have two very different stories about the conversation the two of you had.
Plaintiff Richard Gibbs Jr. says he hired the defendant to do a tune-up on his car, but instead it was rendered undrivable. He's suing for engine computer repairs, parts, and a diagnostic test. Defendant Damon Odin says he owes nothing because Richard was disrespectful in front of his son, and his work didn't cause the permanent damage to the vehicle.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Gibbs Jr. versus Odin.
Thank you, Juan. Richard Gibbs Jr.,
Yes, Your Honor.
you are suing the defendant Damon Odin
Yes, Your Honor.
for $1,160 for engine computer repairs, parts, and a diagnostic test.
Yes, Your Honor.
So I understand from your complaint, you hired the defendant to do work on a car, and you believe he's responsible for causing further damage?
Yes, Your Honor.
So why don't we start from the beginning? Tell me what happened.
Yes, Your Honor. We're in a year of 2015, around the end of August, end of October, beginning of November. I met Mr.
Wait,
Odin.
you just told me three different months.
I'm sorry, like
was it August, October?
I don't remember the time is right up, but I
I'm
know it's
sorry.
like the end of October and the beginning of November.
Okay.
Somewhere along that time that I met Mr. Odin, and I told him that I needed to get some work done on the car.
What did you need done on the car?
I needed to actually do a tune-up on the car. It consists of spark plug wires, replacing the spark plugs, and also putting a radiator fan in.
Are you a mechanic?
Yes, Your Honor.
That's what you do by trade?
Yes,
How
Your Honor.
long have you been doing this kind of work?
Over 20 years.
Over 20 years. Do you work at a shop?
No, I work for myself, Your
Work for
Honor.
yourself, okay. So he comes down and looks at your car.
When he came down, he also had on a auto mechanic shirt, so I pretty much figured he worked for a shop as well. But he came down, he was in a decent vehicle, so he fitted the description of a mechanic.
So he has on a mechanic shirt and
He has
he's
a-
driving a decent car, so in your book, he's good.
Yeah, I mean, he had all his tools, he had on the mechanic shirt, he was kind of greasy that day. When he took a look at my car, he said, I have it fixed in a minute for you, boss. You know what I mean? He said, I said, what you gonna charge? He said, I charge $80. So I'm like, I was kind of surprised that he charged $80 because I had just prior took the car to a shop, and they told me between $220 and $230.
So he was doing a tune-up and changing the spark plugs.
He's doing a tune-up. He's changed the spark plug, he's changed the wires, and he also changed the radiator fan.
What do you mean by changing the wires?
The spark plug wires that go to the spark plug.
Got it, okay.
This is the 2001 PT Cruiser he worked on.
Okay, that's the car. And how long have you owned the car at the time?
It was my mother's vehicle, and me, my brother, and my sister, we bought it for her before she passed, so it had sentimental value to me.
And how many miles are on the car?
Right about now, it's about 220,000 miles on the car.
220,000 miles. Okay,
Yes.
so he had a lot of miles on it when he started working on it.
Yes.
So you hire him, you pay him $80, and do you agree with the work he just described that you were going to do?
Yes, Your Honor.
That's what you did?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and how long did it take you to do that?
Less than 45 minutes.
Less than 45 minutes, you fixed it, you were paid, and you were out.
No, actually, when I came to the vehicle, I wasn't provided a key, but I was told the parts were in the vehicle. So I started to repair the vehicle, and after I replaced the spark plug, the wires, at that point, I got the key. When I put the key in, nothing came on. The car acted like it did not respond to the key at all.
Oh, so
Okay?
it didn't start?
No, and it was cold to the touch, and I had no idea that this car had recently been running.
Your Honor, excuse my expression, but he's telling a bold-faced lie. When he came, I drove the car around the parking lot. He drove the car around the parking lot.
Is that true?
Absolutely not. I don't even know if it's a stick or automatic. How would
Wow.
I would know that by driving the car. No.
Your
No, he
Honor, the
didn't.
car crunk up. He even had me come out. This is what took place.
Okay.
He said he was going to have to finish the work because his wife had an event at T.I.'s restaurant. He said he had a surprise birthday party for her.
T.I. the rapper.
T.I. the rapper. He said he
Okay.
had he had an event planned for his wife.
I'm not even married, so I don't know where my wife comes into a story.
Well, were you going to T.I.'s party? Were you taking
Yes,
some-
I was. I was taking my niece down there for a graduation.
Okay, so you say he leaves,
Yeah.
And he comes back when to finish the repairs?
He comes back probably maybe two days later.
And what happens?
And I'm troubleshooting the vehicle to figure out why it won't respond. And that's when I get to the computer and determine that I'm getting a signal into the computer, but I'm not getting one out.
Okay.
And that's when I advise him that we have a computer situation and how would he like to resolve that one.
Once again, Your Honor, he has told another bold-faced lie.
Coming up, the condition of the car is called into question.
Basically, the car has a lot of issues
It
and a
does.
lot of problems, sir.
The car was cranking fine before he touched it.
I never acknowledged that I damaged the vehicle. I never saw this vehicle run at all.
And later, miscommunication causes a Brooklyn fashion show to fall apart.
I was calling you, I couldn't find where you were, so I don't know what to tell.
There was a team of us working, so even if I was not there, the show would have gone on.
I mean, none of this is in writing, so that's what happens. You come into court, it's harder for you to prove your case.
Plaintiff Richard Gibbs Jr. says Damon ruined his car. He's suing for engine computer repairs, parts, and a diagnostic test. Defendant Damon Oden says he owes nothing because he did the job he was hired to do.
You're suing for $1,100. You said you had to pay for a PCM repair.
Right.
At this point, you're talking about a car that's 15 years old. It has over 200,000 miles on it. So
Okay.
what proof do you have that whatever work he did caused a problem to the car and that it won't start?
What happened is, and I was explaining this at a shop, the first shop I took the car to, I had the car towed, I have insurance on the car. They say he touched something.
Do you have proof of what you're
Yes,
saying?
I have proof here.
What are you handing me?
What I'm handing you now is the diagnostic check they gave me at the top. The reason why the car won't
And
start.
what was the date that he started working on the car?
It had to be several days before that because I didn't have the car towed like a couple of days later.
This is dated November 19th, 2015.
So let's say about 4 days before he worked on the car.
And you're telling me that this document represents what?
They said whatever he touched and now he caused a shortage, in which would require a hard reset, and it burnt something out within that PCM.
That's not what this document states. This document is from a mechanic shop, and they basically assessed the problems with the car.
Right.
And that you were told that the PCM is defective
Right.
internally. And then they go through an entire list of issues with the car. The valve cover gasket is leaking, power steering pump is locked up,
Yeah.
the pulley is missing, the
been awful.
drive belt is missing, engine and transmission mounts are defective.
It's a whole
They
car.
recommend replacing all of those things. Basically, the car has a lot of issues
It
and a
does.
lot of problems, sir. And you're telling me that due to his negligence, he's responsible for one of these problems. That's not what this document states.
He said, before I touch the car, since it was running before I touched the car, if you buy the PCM, I'll take it in place. Because I never know the car had a computer in it until he told me. He said, wake me up the next day and he'll come fix the car.
Is that true?
I said the only way I could do a next day appointment is if you called and woke me up earlier, then you would be the first one on my list, okay? He does not do that, and he calls like 4:30 the afternoon the next day. It comes through my car Bluetooth, and he says, I'm not your ain't my job to wake you up, and this is in my car with my son.
Your Honor, that I did call him. He's right, I did call him. And the reason why I said what I said to him, because he told me I needed to wake him up before him to come do the part. And I'm like, Damon, why I gotta wake you up? You already knew you had to come down here and do the work, my man. Prior to that, I told him, I said, dude, what you need is a schedule, because you was a busy, the whole while he was up under the car, you know what I'm saying? His page was going, his phone was going. I said, man, why don't you schedule off some of your appointments? I referred 2 people to him, and he did the work for them. I had a female call me back who he did the work for, and she said, he only charged me $40. She said, they're like crackhead prices. I was like, what? I said the same thing that I said. I said, we came and charged me $80. I'm like,
So you referred 2 people to him even after you
even
thought
after.
he messed up your car?
we was
Your
on
Honor.
good terms then, because he said he was gonna come back and fix it once the part came in.
Wow, one of you is really just standing before me telling a doozy today.
A bold-faced lie.
Yeah.
Here's my concern,
Yes,
which
ma'am.
is sometimes when you replace something like spark plugs or when you start working on the car, it can impact another part of the car.
That's what was
It
told to
doesn't
me.
mean that he's necessarily responsible for that. On a car that's 15 years old with 200,000 miles, once you start tinkering with it, you never know what's gonna happen. You have to prove to me it was because of his negligence, and I'm sorry, you just haven't met your burden. Judgment in this case is for the defendant.
My car was running fine until Mr. Oden touched my car, and I'll never mess with side tree mechanics again.
I would like to take more referrals, but this one has put such a bad taste in my mouth, I think I would have to look at it twice.
Plaintiff P.J. Fleury says she hired the defendant to help her find designers for a fashion show. But on the day of the event, not one showed up. She's suing for a refund. Defendant Eves S. Triplett says he owes nothing because P.J. pulled the plug on the event and almost ruined his reputation in the fashion community. He's countersuing for a consultation fee.
P.J. Fleury,
Yes, Your Honor.
you are suing the defendant Eves S. Triplett?
Yes, Your Honor.
For $500 you say he owes you for not performing services you hired him to do in a fashion show?
Technically.
And you are countersuing for $1,000 for a consultation fee?
Correct.
Okay,
Yes, Your Honor.
why don't we start with you, Ms. Fleury? I understand you hired the defendant to help you with the fashion show you were putting on in your community. Is this in Orange, New Jersey?
Actually, in New York City. In
Oh, the
Queens.
fashion show was in New York? Okay. And you say he didn't perform the services, and so you want your $500 back. Why don't you give me some background and tell me what you do?
I'm a community organizer. I put on events and do different initiatives to raise health awareness in the community. I didn't actually hire Mr. Triplett. What I asked him for was to put me in touch with designers that would bring their pieces so that we could do a fashion show, as well as, you know, there would be information given about HIV/AIDS.
Okay, and so what do you do for a living?
I'm an entertainment consultant, Your
And
Honor.
what
I
does
must
that
say,
mean?
Entertainment consultant is somebody that, you know, as a consultant, you know, you come to him, because that person got a Rolodex for, like in her case,
Designers
models,
for a fashion show.
designers, you name it, like venues and stuff like that. So she will come to me, I'll put the event together for her, and then we'll go from there.
So this event was supposed to take place on March 20th.
Yes.
Of last year.
Right.
And what specifically did you ask him to do, and you paid him $500 to do what?
So the $500 was an honorarium that would be given to the designers. He did explain to me that these designers, you know, this is their business. This is what they do for a living. So they don't do like free shows. But I explained to him that this was a community initiative. And I asked him if they would be willing to do it to help us, and I would provide a $500 honorarium.
How many designers?
It was 2 designers.
It was supposed to be 2 designers, and what exactly were they supposed to be doing?
They were going to bring 5 pieces each to display on models to have the entertainment portion of the event.
Okay, and I assume none of this is in writing.
No, it was not.
So the show was set for March 20th.
Yes.
It didn't happen on that day. It happened on what day?
On March 27th.
And what was the reason it didn't happen on the 20th?
There was a snowstorm that day.
Okay.
So this was late in the winter season, so nobody expects it to snow at that point. But it did.
And did you have the event on the 27th?
We did.
And did you have any designers?
No, I did not.
Okay, so what happened?
She didn't want 2 designers, she needed 5 designers. So that's mean $100 is gonna be for each one of them.
So you weren't getting paid anything out of the deal?
At all, because
Okay.
we understand, because since it's your first event, so let me help you out. The second time I will get paid.
Okay. Did you have a discussion with him about 5 designers?
No, I did not, Your Honor.
Yes, you did.
No, we
Okay.
did
Yes,
not.
you did.
I mean, none of this is in
I-
writing, so that's what happens when
Yes.
you don't put anything in writing, you pay someone $500 and you come into court, it's harder for you to prove your case.
Coming up on Judge Fate, was the fee refundable or just the cost of doing business?
The whole show, the whole production was done and ready to go for the 20th. The only thing we changed was the date.
The designer are calling me because around March is a very busy season in New York City, and I'm calling her. She's nowhere to be found. I'm in the hot seat for her.
Plaintiff P.J. Fleury says Eves didn't do his job and kept her money. She's suing for a refund. Defendant Eves S. Triplett says he owes nothing because P.J. took advantage of his time. He's countersuing for a consultation fee.
Did she contact you and say the show won't be happening on the 20th because of the snow?
No, as a matter of fact, she contacted me that day.
On the 20th?
On the 18th or 19th or something to let me know there was going to be a snowstorm, but in the meantime, I was looking for her. She was nowhere to be found.
Did she tell you the show was being postponed? Yes or no? Because
Yes,
of
she
the
did.
snowstorm? Yes, she did.
Yes.
Okay, so you know it's not happening on the 20th. Does she tell you the show's being postponed a week later to the 27th?
Yes.
Okay, if you know that the date is March 27th, why didn't the designer show up on that date?
We spoke the 21st or the 22nd, 5 or 6 days later, you're gonna have the show. I'm still calling you. You know where to be found.
So you're saying in that
That's not
5-day
true.
period, she disappeared?
Again,
And you
yes.
were calling her and she didn't answer her phone?
Yes, not only that, and the designer are calling me because around March is a very busy season in New York City, especially for Brooklyn and Fashion Week.
And so when do you tell her no designers are showing up, you can't get them to come?
The 26th. The 26th
You told her the
when
day
she
before
called.
that?
Yes, I say, well, I was calling you. I couldn't find where you were, so I don't know what to tell.
Is it true that he was trying to contact you and you were nowhere to be found?
No, Your Honor. I was sick. I got sick the day before the previously scheduled show on the 20th. I got sick on the 19th. I had like a real bad mold problem in my apartment, so I actually had to be taken from work by EMS to the hospital. I spent a few hours there. They flushed my system. I went
But you
home
had
that
already
day.
canceled that show on the 20th
Right.
anyway.
I did, the day before, on the 18th. On the 19th, I did get sick. It was a team of us working, so even if I was not there, the show would have gone on.
Okay, you got sick on the 19th,
Yes.
but you'd already postponed the show because of the snowstorm.
Right.
Between the 20th and the 27th, ma'am, was he trying to get in contact with you and you were nowhere to be found, as he said?
No, that is not true. I contacted him on the 25th, which is a few days before the show.
2 days.
Before the show. And I let him know, hey, I was sick. I did not contact you between that time. The show
So
is
he
still
had
going
been
on.
trying to get in touch with you.
He did. My phone did not ring. I did not get any text messages because on the 20th, we agreed that everything was going to be postponed to the 27th. There was nothing else to be done. The whole show, the whole production was done and ready to go for the 20th. The only thing we changed was the date.
And so when did you find out that the designers weren't showing up?
The day of, like 3 hours before the event.
How did you find out 3 hours before?
Mr. Shipley, I
Did
had
what?
been...
Called you, text you?
I called him. I was calling him all day long.
And what did he say?
And he basically said that the designers weren't going to come due to my poor planning.
Your Honor, first of all, I must say I'm not a magician. I had told her that I don't guarantee anything.
What happened to the $500? What did you do with the money?
At that point, because of my reputation was at risk, so what I did say to them, because I had distributed the $500 already to them, I said, you know what, here's the $500 for their transportation, because some of them are coming from Brooklyn, some of them are coming from Manhattan.
And so, but if they didn't actually go to the event, if that money is for transportation and they didn't actually go to the event, you're saying you didn't want to go back to them and ask for the money back?
Yeah, because they weren't
available?
First of all, they were calling me and cursing me out because it's a busy season for them, and I'm calling her. She's nowhere to be found. I'm in the hot seat for her.
Coming up, Judge Faith rules. And now, Judge Faith rules.
You have two very different stories about the conversation the two of you had. I don't think that you're necessarily completely dishonest. I just think you're really disorganized. You canceled the event a couple of days before by your own testimony, but you don't ask, will the designers be available on this new date? You just say the event is going to be now on this date a week later and expect everyone to show up. So it seems perfectly reasonable that he would say to you, well, I'll do my best, but I can't guarantee you that they'll show up. And then if he's already paid these individuals $100 each, which is no money, it's just transportation, I think it's understandable that he wouldn't want to go back and say, well, give me that money back because you can't do it now. It's your burden of proof that he breached some kind of oral contract between the two of you. I don't find that you've met your burden. Your counterclaim for $1,000 in consultation fees when you just told me you were volunteering your time in this case, that's dismissed, sir. Judgment in this case for the defendant.
I'm sorry if you were sick. Sorry about that, but you should have communicated with me, and when I was trying to communicate with me, at least send me a text, let me know what happened so I can, make a necessary arrangement.
Don't scam people. Stop scamming people. You know you're a scam, you know you stole the money, and you are not right to come here and try to make it seem like I'm a liar.
2 dogs killed. Each owner points the finger at the other.
My mother called over to Sarah and told her that the dogs were killing our dog and she needed to come get her dog.
I understand that her dog died, but you know what? My dog died because of this situation as well.
So you think this is one big setup and she wanted her dog to get killed by your pit bull?
And later, furniture flies during an attempted delivery of a bedroom set.
I turned back to pay attention to where I was going, and the next time when I looked in my rearview mirror again, I seen everything just fly off the truck.
Onto the highway?
Onto the highway.
Wow.
When I finna retrieve the mattress in the box spring,
Here come an 18-wheeler, ran over it. I'm seeing it, I'm looking in my eyes like my life flashed into my eyes.
The furniture even falling off on the highway is so dangerous.
In a dog-eat-dog world, plaintiff Tarika Maxwell says her neighbor's pit bull attacked and killed her dog, Rocky. She's suing for the cost to replace her pet and cremation fees. Defendant Sarah Scholl says her dog was wrongfully accused, and now he's dead. She's countersuing.
Remain seated and come to order. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Your Honor, this case is Maxwell versus Scholl.
Thank you, Barbara. Ms. Maxwell, you say your neighbor is responsible for the death of your dog. You're suing for $1,200 for cremation services and to replace your dog. Ms. Scholl, you say you had nothing to do with her dog's death, so you owe nothing. In fact, you're countersuing for $2,250 to replace your dog. Ms. Maxwell, what's going on?
On December 30th, 2013, the plaintiff's dogs came into my backyard and murdered my baby Rocky. My grandmother went to let the dogs out to use the restroom. The dogs ran downstairs to the left, and we seen Sarah's pit bulls coming to the right, and they came on top of the dog. We can hear Rocky crying and screaming.
Rocky is the name of your dog?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what kind of dog is Rocky?
Rocky was a Yorkie.
How long did you have him?
Rocky was 2 years old.
You have a picture of him?
Yes, ma'am.
May I see it?
Yes, ma'am.
How long have you and the defendant been neighbors?
I moved in with my grandmother May 2013. My grandmother has lived in that house for over 14, 15 years.
Okay. And have her dogs gotten out before?
Yes, ma'am. They've had incidents in the past before we moved in.
Rocky is cute, very cute. Well, I'm sorry about your loss.
Thank you.
So you saw the defendant's dogs on
Yes,
top of
ma'am.
Rocky?
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
and who else saw that?
My grandmother.
Okay, and what did you do?
We were just trying to get their attention. One of the dogs ran onto the porch at us, so we ran back in the house. My mother called over to Sarah and told her that the dogs were killing our dog and she needed to come get her dog. And then she hung up, she called the police as well to come and help us to get the dogs. After a while, Sarah's fiance ran into the yard and he got the dogs, but they kept running away from him. And they kept going back over to the spot where Rocky was.
They were nowhere near that dog.
I didn't ask you a question.
After a while, Sarah finally came to the fence. She was acting like she couldn't get in the yard.
So you spoke to Sarah immediately in the aftermath of this happening?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
She didn't say anything to us. She never came over and explained how they got over in our yard. She never apologized. We have never spoke to Sarah.
Do you have a police report?
Yes, ma'am.
You submitted it with the evidence? Okay, and I'll take a look at that. Tell me about the times that her dogs got loose before.
A month before that, November 2013, her dogs had got loose. She was not home. Her dog attacked Rocky and my grandmother's poodle.
Okay. All right, Ms. Scholl, how did your dogs get in her yard?
Well, I believe they were called over there, first of all.
By who?
Whoever was in the backyard. First of all, I was in the kitchen cooking dinner on the night of the incident. My dogs, we had let them out to go to the bathroom. We turned the back light on. We also had an agreement with our neighbor stating, hey, if you see our back light on, don't let your dogs out because our dogs are in the backyard.
That's not true, Your Honor.
Yes, we have. We
That's
have had
not
this
true.
agreement for several years because we have had problems because my neighbors have little dogs that for no reason will come running to the fence, barking uncontrollably. They aggravate my dogs. And
okay, dogs are dogs. And when you have
Exactly.
let me explain something to you. Dogs are animals. They do what animals do. So when you have a case like this, when someone's dog has been killed, it's not about what the dogs did, it's about what the owner did or did not do. So how did your dog get into her yard?
So on the night that this happened, we let our dogs out to go to the bathroom. I was in the kitchen cooking dinner. I saw my dogs on the back porch. They were wanting to get back in the house. Not 2 seconds later, our phone rang. And I don't know who it was, but whoever was on the phone said, your dog is over here eating my dog. Just like that, there was no hysteria, there was no nothing. We immediately ran over to the other backyard. This all happened within literally 30 seconds to 1 minute of me seeing my dogs on the back porch and getting this phone call. There's not enough time for my dogs to jump the fence, chase her dog around, get it. And not only that, our dogs were on this side of the fence, her dog was on this side of the fence. They were nowhere near her dog.
Okay.
There was no
Your
blood
Honor,
on
can I
my
say
dogs.
something?
There was nothing.
Can I say something?
Yes.
She was not there for a while. Her fiance was in our yard trying to pull the dogs away from Rocky. She didn't come for like 2 minutes.
Where's your
2
fiance?
to 3 minutes until after her fiance was in our yard.
That's convenient.
Coming up on Judge Faith.
Look at these big dogs. Just attacked our dogs. They just attacked our dogs. Both of them.
And later,
I'm looking and all of a sudden I see the mattress lift up. And I'm like, oh my God, I hope my stuff doesn't fly off of this
Like,
truck.
you see the mattress lifting in the air?
plaintiff Tarika Maxwell says her neighbor's pit bull attacked and killed her dog, Rocky. Defendant Sarah Scholl says her dogs didn't do it.
How did your dogs get into her yard? You're not answering my question.
Well, first of all, they jumped the fence. But
Okay,
this
so
all
they jumped the
happened
fence.
in a matter of 30 seconds.
So, and that's happened before, right?
It has.
That can't happen.
I
That
understand.
cannot happen. It's your job and your responsibility to keep your dogs in your yard. That can't happen. People should not have to live in fear of your dogs jumping the fence in their yard where you know they have little dogs. They shouldn't have to live in fear of that. What if there were a kid in that backyard?
Which is true. We have since enforced our fence. We raised our fence, and there's been several times that we've come home and part of our top fence is knocked off. Like, they are really trying to set it up to make it so...
Oh, so you think this is one big setup and she wanted her dog to get killed by your pit bulls?
Well, you know, I understand...
Don't be ridiculous.
I understand that her dog died, but you know what? My dog died because of this situation as well.
Why? Because you're a bad dog owner. If you keep your dogs in your yard,
because
your dog will not
the
have
money to get my dog out of the impound at that time.
Absolutely, absolutely. You even say in your own statement, you walked outside and your pit bulls were in her yard.
Right, on the opposite side of the fence from where her dog was laying.
So there just happened to be your pit bulls in her yard. Her dog just happens to be dead, but your dogs have absolutely nothing to do with it. You're getting more tragic by the minute.
Your Honor, I did submit a video of her dogs on our porch on the November 11th.
Let's have a look.
Look at these big dogs. Just attacked our dogs. They just attacked our dogs. Both of them.
What do you have to say for yourself?
Well, I have a video as well as far as what my dog's temperament really is with my friend's
Are those your
child.
dogs on the video?
Don't you hear her dog barking? And that, of course they're gonna do that because they are trying to defend themselves. There's a dog barking
Let me tell
at
you
them.
something. You need to lower your voice. Don't yell at me in my courtroom. That may be how you do things around your house with your dogs, but you're in my house now, and this is my courtroom. Do you have evidence of the cremation costs?
Yes, and this is my baby right here, his cremation.
Okay. It's a really.
They never gave me the
that's a tough
option to
way
cremate
go.
my dog after they killed my dog.
That's your fault.
This is my receipt for the cremation and the adoption papers that show how much I paid for Rocky.
And how much is that?
$800.
I mean, there's no question here that you're liable. Your dogs get out. It's ridiculous. You can't keep your dogs in your own yard. On your counterclaim, I find 0. You are completely responsible for the fact that your pit bulls keep getting out, and they sound like, frankly, they've been terrorizing the neighborhood. I do find in favor of the plaintiff in this case $800 for the cost of Rocky. You did provide proof, and also $200 cremation costs. Verdict $1,000 for the plaintiff. Good luck, folks.
Plaintiff Shanice Hawkins is suing a mover for the value of a bedroom set she says he is responsible for destroying. Defendant Bernard First says it wasn't his fault. He is countersuing for defamation of character.
Ms. Hawkins, you're suing the defendant for $2,000 for the value of a bedroom set plus a refund and pain and suffering. Mr. Furr, you claim you owe the plaintiff nothing because you replaced the bedroom set that she claims that you damaged, and you're countersuing the plaintiff for $500 for defamation of character. Ms. Hawkins, what happened?
Judge, I hired him in April 2014 to transport a bedroom set that I had bought from a guy that I had met off of Craigslist.
Okay, and did you know the defendant prior to hiring him?
No.
How did you find out about him?
He was referred by the guy that I bought the bedroom set from.
Okay, and how much was the agreement between the two of you about how much you would pay him?
$60.
So, do you have a moving company?
No, I don't have no moving company. I'll just do this part-time, okay?
Do you have a license to move, or is this just a hobby you do on the side?
Just a hobby, I do it on the side, you know what I'm saying? The same guy.
And you make money?
I don't
you
think
make money
it's
from
a hobby because he has a sign on the side of the truck that he transfers, that he hauls stuff.
All right, so it is a business, but it's something you say you don't do full time, but you make money from it.
I make money from that.
You came to an agreement to do the move for $60, right?
Right.
Okay, and she did pay you the $60, right?
She paid me the $60.
Okay, so what happens when you meet him at the location to pick up the furniture? What happens next?
Him and his son, they proceed to load the furniture onto his truck. First, he was trying to stack the chest of drawer and the dresser on top of each other. So I told him, like, hold on, you know, that's gonna scratch. You can't do it like that. So finally, they put the pieces side by side, and then they put the mattress set on top of it. And I was looking like, you know, I hope this, you know, is okay. But I'm thinking that.
What kind of truck was it?
It was a brown GMC pickup truck.
Okay.
Like from
and how many years have you been in the moving business on the side of your regular job?
Well, part-time, I've been doing it for the last way over 10 years. I said 25 years I've really been doing it.
And you do most of the moves on the back of a pickup truck, or do you have a moving truck?
On the back of a pickup truck.
That's kind of bootleg.
It is. It's very, it's very bootleg, Judge.
Next on Judge Faith.
I was distraught from seeing my whole bedroom set with half of my bedroom set
on the highway.
It was gone. She was gone. She didn't see it.
And tractor-trailer truck coming down, and the mattress is stuck to the side of it.
Plaintiff Shanice Hawkins is suing a mover for destroying her bedroom set. Defendant Bernard Furr is countersuing for defamation of character.
Okay, so he stacks the furniture on the back of the truck,
yeah,
ties it down. What happens?
When I see the rope, I'm thinking again because it was rope that was tied onto another rope, and, you know.
You're telling me you had some hesitation. What was the hesitation about the quality of the rope?
Yes. So they got everything on the truck, and we proceeded to leave, which he was to trail me because he didn't know where I live, obviously.
And how many miles away was the destination?
Trailing her. She left me. She left me.
Well, hold on one second. You knew where you were moving the furniture to, right?
No,
I didn't know I was moving.
So you were following her on, was it a highway?
Yes, it was a highway, but I did not leave him.
She left me. I know. You left me.
Okay, so get me to the highway. Let's get to the highway. What happens on the highway?
I'm constantly looking in my rearview mirror, and I'm looking, and all of a sudden I see the mattress lift up. And I'm like, oh my God, I hope my stuff doesn't fly off of this truck.
You see the mattress lifting in the air?
I literally see the mattress. It hasn't lifted into the air yet, but it's lifting up because the rope that, you know, he had, it was holding it for a little bit.
Okay.
And the next time when I looked in my rearview mirror again, I seen everything just fly off the truck.
Onto the highway?
Onto the highway.
Wow. Okay. Tell me what happened.
Okay, I was going down the highway. I was traveling like 55 miles an hour. She was gotta been going like 80 miles an hour. I'm driving. I'm seeing that the wind was high and it was and the storm was coming. Okay, the wind was picking up the mattress.
Go ahead.
I slowed down to 50 miles an hour and the wind still was blowing high. So about the time I finna pull over to the edge, the whole thing fell off. Okay, so I jumped out immediately to try to pull to the side, jumped out immediately to try to retrieve.
How high was this wind? What storm was coming? Where y'all live, Kansas?
No, I'm telling you now, the wind was blowing, traveling west. We was going east. And the wind was real high, okay?
What happened when the furniture fell off the truck? What did you do?
What I do, I pulled to the shoulder of the highway. Then when I finna retrieve the mattress and the box spring, here come an 18-wheeler, ran over it. I'm seeing it, and I'm looking in my eyes like my life flashed into my eyes. Life flashed into my eyes. I had to hurry up and run and jump back in my car if it had ran and hit me, I would have been life would have been gone.
Well, I mean, the furniture
mattress in
even
the box
falling
ring.
off
Come
on
on
the
now.
highway is so
And it was
dangerous.
used at that.
What is your counterclaim about, though? Because I don't see how this isn't your fault.
Okay, my counterclaim is that after I got off the highway, we exited off the highway, then I had to retrieve my cell phone to call her up to meet us at the exit. So when we met at the exit, I told her that I had another bedroom set that was my daughter's. I took her to my house and I gave her my daughter's bedroom set.
In exchange for that bedroom set.
Mattress and box spring.
Mattress, box spring, and a bed railing.
Because did you pay him for the
did.
move, by the way? Did you pay him for this move?
Yes.
Why?
And the reason why I paid him because when
She
we
accepted
got
the-
to our home,
she
when we
accepted the
got to
bedroom
my
set.
home, and they took the mattress and box spring, I'm thinking we finna go and part ways, and I'm sitting in my car, and he walks up to my car. He's like, I'm sorry, I gotta get some gas, and give me the weekend, and I have your stuff replaced, and this, that, and so I just gave him the $60, so that
It's
he
not
could
my
just
fault. That's what I'm saying.
go
Oh,
leave
it
away
is.
from my
It is your
car.
fault.
No,
It
it's
is your
not my fault.
But
Yes, it is. It's
Your
your
Honor-
responsibility to tie down that furniture. And if it's too windy, then you don't drive. If it's too windy, you pull over on the side of the road. Because if you don't do that, you put your life and everyone else's life on that highway in jeopardy.
Yeah.
You have a counterclaim for $500. What's that about?
Okay, for the bedroom set that I gave her.
Yes.
And humiliation she put me through.
Humiliation?
Right.
How did
did
she
I
humiliate you?
humiliate
She also told a whole lot of other people.
I don't know anyone.
Wait, told people about what? What happened?
You're right. Told her about the incident or whatever.
And so you think that's defamation, and she should pay you because she told people about what happened, what you
Yes,
did?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. No,
Judge
sir.
Faith, the only person that we know between the both of us is the guy that I bought the bedroom set from.
Let me see the pictures you brought with you today.
And yes, I did. I called him because I was distraught when this happened to me.
Let's put these up on the flat screen. What is this a picture of?
Right there in the right corner, that's the piece that's about to fall off. It was broken off.
That piece was
This is
already
the bedroom
broken off.
set that he
That
gave
piece
you in
was already
exchange.
broken off.
Excuse
No.
me.
Your Honor, he did
I'm
not give
speaking.
me a
Hold on
bedroom
one
set.
second.
He gave me a mattress, a box spring, and a broke rail. Those pictures are
But
in
you
there.
agreed to accept
No, I
that
didn't.
from
All that was in
him,
mid-condition.
correct?
Yes, I agreed to accept it because I didn't, my mind was not working properly. I did not look over
Your man wasn't working properly.
Yes, I was distraught
Yeah, no,
from
you wasn't.
seeing my
No, you
whole
wasn't.
bedroom
didn't-
set with
you didn't
half
see
of my
it.
bedroom set
On
fly
the
over the
highway.
highway.
It was gone. She was gone. She
And,
didn't see it.
Next
tractor
photo?
trailer truck coming down and the mattress is stuck to the side of it.
Bogus.
And now, Judge Faith rules.
Mr. Furr, on the issue of liability, there's no question that you're liable for damaging the plaintiff's property. However, you guys did come to an agreement after that incident, and he actually gave you a new bedroom set in exchange for the bedroom set, and you accepted it. I understand that afterwards you changed your mind and you don't like it now, but at that time period, that's the agreement that the two of you came to replace your bedroom set.
He did not give me everything,
However,
Your Honor.
you should not owe him and pay him for that move. That's $60. You're going to pay her back that $60. She should not have to pay you for that move where her furniture was destroyed on the highway because of your negligence. On your counterclaim, sir, that's not defamation. That's just her speaking the truth about what happened. I'm sorry if it hurt your feelings, but that's just the truth. So $0 on your counterclaim, $60 for you, ma'am. Good luck, folks.
Two brothers sue for their security deposit.
The day that we moved in, nothing was cleaned whatsoever. No paint, stove completely filthy. It was just a wreck.
But the landlords claim the brothers caused excessive damage to the home.
I was just in shock of the condition of the house.
You've kept the entire security deposit. In addition, you're saying that they caused $6,000 in additional damages. How are you going to prove that?
And later, two ex-lovers have some unfinished business.
For about the past 12 years, we've been in a relationship.
That's not true.
How did you come to, again, shell out more money to Mr. Jones?
I guess I kind of got tricked into that one.
Plaintiffs Chad and Keith Epstein are brothers who are suing their former landlord for $1,950, the full return of their security deposit. Defendants Carla Chadwick and Manuel Castro claim the brothers damaged the home. They are countersuing for $6,001 to make the repairs.
Remain seated and come to order. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Your Honor, this case is Epstein and Epstein versus Chadwick and Castro.
Thank you, Barbara. Chad Epstein?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
You and Keith Epstein are suing the defendants Carla Chadwick and Manuel Castro for $1,950, the return of your security deposit.
Correct.
And you are countersuing for $6,001 for damages you say they caused to your unit?
Yes. Correct.
Is this a house or an apartment?
House.
Okay, and how large is it?
It's 4 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms.
At some point, you leased this house from the defendants.
Correct.
Tell me how you found it.
I believe Craigslist.
And how long did you live there? 2 years?
2 years.
2 years.
And the two of you were roommates?
Correct.
Describe the house. How was it when you moved in?
The day that we moved in, nothing was cleaned whatsoever. No paint, stove completely filthy. It was just a wreck. I mean, he had just moved out. No cleaning was done whatsoever.
Okay, is that true?
We were told by Chad and Keith that the house was fine to move in because we were there a few days before the other tenant left, and the other tenant, they received the full deposit.
Did you inspect the house and the condition of the house when the prior tenant moved out before these gentlemen moved in?
No.
What were the circumstances of you moving out? Did you give them notice or did they ask you to move?
No, they asked us 45 days previous to leave. They weren't going to renew our
Well, you
lease at
guys
this
are
point.
dragging us along because you were telling us that you wanted to buy the house, but you
At
couldn't come up with the money to buy the house.
$300,000, absolutely. I was not going to spend that amount of money on a house that's worth at best $260,000.
Then you should have told us
I
in
did.
the beginning.
That's exactly what I told you,
You drug
Danny.
us on for 2
Be
months
correct.
and didn't get the lease.
Stop talking.
Thank you.
Ms. Chadwick, why did you ask them to vacate the house?
The end of the lease had come.
Okay, fine. Now, did you do a walkthrough with them?
Yes.
They did not.
No, they did not.
She did a 5-minute, just walked around the house real
Did
quick.
she say anything to you about the condition of the house when she did the walkthrough?
No, not at all.
Did you?
I did not say anything about, other than just listen to him explaining, and I was just in shock of the condition of the house. I was actually speechless.
What did you explain to her?
The one children's room that was painted, it was a little bit on the flamboyant side with a hot pink and that
was
kind
for
of
my
color.
11-year-old daughter.
Did you talk to them about painting various colors before you did
I
it?
had spoke with Manny about it previous that we were going to do some darker colors going through.
Is that true, sir?
No, ma'am. I'm sorry.
Okay, let's look at the plaintiff's photos first. What is this a photo
That
of?
was a before picture of the cabinetry that was in there. We just upgraded it, sanded, painted to that.
The cabinet was oak, stained, and shellacked.
And
then
rusty
when we
and cracking.
got to the house, it was spray painted, I think, because it was all over the grout, all over the tile.
Okay,
It's
let's
just
look
a
at your
mess.
photos that you submitted.
That's their handiwork. That
It
is
looks
the
like
cabinet.
spray paint.
Also the
So who
closet.
painted this?
I did.
Okay.
But it wasn't like that when we left by any means.
Okay, so
The
you
water
think-
damage on the bottom was absolutely there, but that spray paint on the bottom, I didn't spray paint it.
Okay, next
It
photo.
wasn't spray paint, that's crazy.
What is this?
That's my daughter's room. That's a closet door. She wanted stripes.
What's your problem with this photo?
That room was painted one solid color that would be appropriate for
It
any
was
kind
not
of
one
tenant.
What color was it?
White.
Okay, next photo.
That's the trash they left behind. And in fact, the city was knocking on the door saying, we're here to fine you because we have had enough of their rubbish in the yard. And we said,
This was
wait.
outside in the yard?
Oh yeah, and that was some of it.
Your security deposit is $1,950,
Right.
and you've kept the entire security deposit. In addition, you're saying that they caused $6,000 in additional damages. How are you going to prove that?
Coming up, accusations fly.
They're trying to get us to remodel their house so it was ready to be on the market.
$1,950 is not going to be enough money to remodel the
Your
house.
$6,000 that you're trying to get us for. That's what we're talking about.
And later, two ex-lovers battle it out.
So you never had a discussion before you went
Never.
into the tax preparation who was going to pay what?
No, that's
Never.
not true.
Excuse me, but I'm not done.
Plaintiffs and brothers Keith and Chad Epstein claim they are entitled to a full return of their security deposit. Defendants Carla Chadwick and Manuel Castro say not only are they entitled to keep the brothers' deposit, they're countersuing for the cost of repairs beyond the deposit amount.
So let me explain something to you. There is what you call normal wear and tear that happens when someone lives in a home for 2 years, and there are things that are over and beyond normal wear and tear. And then there's the issue of you proving to me the damages that they caused versus the prior tenant. So looking at your estimates that you provided to the court, you provided a list. By the way, has someone moved into the house?
No.
They're selling.
They're selling the house, and they're trying to get us to, remodel their house so it was ready to be on the market.
$1,950 is not going to be enough money to remodel the
Your
house.
$6,000 that you're trying to get us for. That's what we're talking about.
Okay, so you've provided a list to the court of 26 items you are charging the plaintiffs. $3,300 for carpet damage. I want to see proof that it will cost $3,300 to repair the carpet that you say they damaged.
Your Honor, the carpet, we haven't replaced it yet because we're waiting for the new homeowner to pick a color. But the carpet has to be replaced.
You just want me to take your word for it that they damaged every inch of carpet in the entire house and not a prior tenant?
First of all, when they moved in, I went ahead and hired a cleaning carpet company to go out there and shampoo it.
No, you didn't.
And in addition, how do
No.
I know that you're going to go in and replace all the carpet if you're selling the home? The home is on the market now, right?
Well, yes.
Okay, so you've been showing the home as is, correct?
Right.
Okay, let's go to the next item, which is over $2,600 to repaint the house. Show me proof that you have paid for the entire house to be repainted.
The problem is here that when you paint 1, 2 rooms, in this case it's 2 rooms and 2 bathrooms, you cannot match the rest of the paint of the house. So therefore, we had to paint the whole house.
They painted 2 rooms in the house in a different color that you didn't approve of,
2
correct?
rooms, 2 bathrooms.
The rest of the house you painted because you wanted it to all be consistent.
The rest of the house.
Okay, so they're not going to be charged for you repainting the entire house. May I see that invoice, please?
And we only charged them a percentage of just the rooms that were damaged. We didn't say that they were responsible for the entire bill. We just divided it up from 2 of the bedrooms and 2 of the bathrooms.
On your invoice you did? Okay,
Right.
because this, truth be told, I could print this off the internet in 2 seconds and write anything on this type of invoice. I was hoping to see some type of letterhead from some type of company that came in and did over $2,600 worth of painting. Here's my issue with this. You had a tenant prior to them living in this house. You did not do a walkthrough with that prior tenant, and you did not assess the damages to that home before they moved in. So when they come into court and they tell me the stove was really, really dirty, you can't say that it wasn't, because no one walked through the house before they moved in. But you've listed all of these charges, and you're saying they did all of these things, and I don't know that, and you don't have a way to prove it. So the things that you can prove are the items that they admit to doing, which is painting those 2 rooms according to the lease. You should not have done that. You have to get special permission. You say you did. He says that you did not. In addition, the paint job that you did on the sink, it's not great. You say it didn't look like that
The
when
bottom
you
of it
left?
didn't. I mean, the sink
Well,
itself
I don't think they
looked that way.
came in and spray painted black paint on the floor after you left. So there are clearly some issues here and some things that they have to do as a result of you living there beyond normal wear and tear, but it is certainly not $8,000 worth of damages that you can prove here in court today. I am holding you responsible for repainting 2 of those rooms. So for that, you'll be responsible for $750. In addition, you are also responsible for $200 in cleanup fees. You left mattresses, you left debris in the yard. It's not their responsibility to clean up those items. So based on that, you're responsible for $956 in damages. I'm ordering you to return a portion of their security deposit in the amount of $994. Verdict for the plaintiffs.
Plaintiff Barbara Mapson says the defendant duped her into paying for his tax services. She's suing for $251, the cost of the tax preparation. Defendant Clarence Jones Jr. says the cost of tax services was a gift from the plaintiff, and she's only suing him because she is bitter about their breakup.
Ms. Barbara Mapson?
Yes.
You are suing the defendant, Clarence Jones, for $250. You say he owes you for the cost of tax preparation services?
Yes.
How do you know the defendant?
I've known him since 1968. Our families were friends, and I dated him during high school, and then when we got older, we went our own separate ways.
But what has your relationship been like with the defendant over the last several years?
We've been friends. We've helped each other out during difficulties, talking back and forth, sometimes financially.
Has he helped you out financially, or has it been the other way around?
It's basically been the other way around. He's done some things around the house for me. I mean, I paid for materials and whatever. He's basically done the labor, things, nothing major.
You say that he has sort of a history of borrowing money from people.
Well, he wasn't always working steady. You know, we helped him out, his family and I did, just trying to help him get himself together so he could stand on his own.
And is there any reason, sir, why you haven't been able to stand on your own, as she says?
Well, I have been standing on my own. I don't know where she's getting all this from. I have been unemployed a few times, but I have worked on the side.
What kind of work do you do?
Right now I'm a truck driver, over-the-road truck driver.
Okay.
I have done home renovations and remodeling, stuff like that. Like she said, we were high school sweethearts. And after high school, we separated. She went her way, I went mine. And then about 25 years later, we ran into each other again. We dated off and on. Then I moved from Philadelphia to Atlanta, and she was still living in Jacksonville. And we stayed on relationship. We kept seeing each other. And we got together, and she'd come visit me. I go visit her.
Coming up.
You're saying she moved to Atlanta because of you?
Yes.
Is that true?
Kind of, sort of, yeah.
Well, because I asked you before, and you told me that you guys were just friends.
Plaintiff Barbara Mapson says the defendant is a deadbeat who mooches off friends and family. Defendant Clarence Jones Jr. says he and the plaintiff have been in an on-again, off-again relationship for years.
We engaged in a relationship for about the past 12 years.
For the past 12 years, you've been friends or in a dating relationship?
That's not true.
Well, which is it?
We were dating for the last 12 years.
Okay.
Okay. She bought the house in Atlanta, I guess about 7 years ago.
You're saying she moved to Atlanta because of you?
Yes.
Is that true?
Kind of, sort of, yeah.
Well, because I asked you before, and you told me that you guys were just friends, but...
Well, we were just friends, and then it just developed. I was going through a divorce, and he helped me out with some things, but afterwards, he just wasn't reliable or anything. I found out the true person that he really was.
What do you mean by that?
Well, he had an apartment. He lost that. He lost his job, and then he thought he was going to move in with me, and I'm like, I don't think so.
And you said that there was an incident with a Sears credit card.
Right.
You were in a relationship at that time?
Yes.
Was that a loan or a gift to him?
It was a loan.
Okay.
And he paid most of it back. I didn't get all of it, but I got a majority of it back, so I was satisfied with that.
Your Honor, we were in a committed relationship, and I did pay her back.
Okay, but it wasn't easy getting your money back, though, right?
No.
That was the issue.
That's what she says. I paid her back every time the statement came through every month to make the payment on the credit card.
So it wasn't difficult? She didn't have to ask you numerous times about her money?
No, she did not, no.
Okay.
She would remind me that the payment was due.
That's not true.
She submitted text messages in this case, and I reviewed them, and I know that she had to ask you several times. She basically pestered you to get the money from you to pay the Sears card.
Well, that was something that she didn't have to do, that's what she chose to do.
Well, she chose to do it because you weren't paying her back, sir.
I'm not trying to be smart, but she did remind me when it was due.
Did you ever loan her any money? Because
No.
it seems like all the money was going from this side to this side.
I've asked her maybe twice for money to help me out with something, but the other time she volunteered to do this stuff for me. I never asked her for anything.
I'm curious, after going through that with the Sears card, how did you come to, again, shell out more money to Mr. Jones?
Well, I guess I kind of got tricked into that one. It was the 10th of April, so taxes had to get done by the 15th. He said that normally he would do it on his computer, but being over the road, he really couldn't get a good signal and whatever. So I'm like, okay. So we went to get our taxes done. And then when the preparer got finished, I went to pay him, and he said, well, are you paying for both? And I went to say no, and he says, pay the man.
The defendant told you pay the man?
Yeah, he says, pay the man. So the preparer
So why
heard
did you say
me.
no?
Well, I mean, he kind of caught me off guard, and I didn't really know what to do. So I said, well, okay. And when we got outside, I let him have it. I didn't want to make a scene in the store, but I told him, I said, I didn't really like the way that you did things.
So you never had a discussion before you went into the tax preparation who was going to pay what?
No, that's not true.
Excuse me, but I'm not done. He says, I told him, I said, you could at least ask me.
So you felt put on the spot in that moment?
I was.
Okay, and you have a different version of what happened.
Yes, I do.
Tell me about that.
Miss Matson just recently got divorced, and we were in a relationship for the past 12 years when she said we were just friends. That's not true. I have done stuff for her in that house, and it's not minor work. I've done some major repairs in that house.
Well, what does that have to do with this case?
With this one, I'm saying we had done stuff for each other during this whole time.
And
now,
so the conversation when you were getting the taxes done, according to you, was what?
I had my taxes with me. She said she was going to file hers. I said, well, I got to do mine online. She said, we can get it all done at the same time. So I told her, I said, I don't usually go there because it costs me money.
Were you getting a refund?
I never get a refund. I owe money. So my refund goes to pay off a debt that I have. It's been like that for the last 10 years.
Oh, so you owe everybody, including the government.
No, for previous marriage.
You don't pay anyone back.
Now this happened, the man did the taxes, and then when she got the bill, see how much it was, then she said something about the amount.
And your understanding was that was a complete gift. She was doing something for you like she'd done in the past, and you didn't have to pay her back.
Right.
And so when did you learn that that was a problem, that she wanted you to pay her back?
When I got the paper for civil court.
So you never heard anything else about the taxes before then?
No.
That's not true, is it, sir?
And now, Judge Faith rules.
You want to tell me the truth about what communication you had with her before you got served with court papers about the taxes?
I didn't have any communication with her.
Okay, you have a text message, ma'am? You want to show me?
I got a lot of text messages.
Show me the text message about the taxes. That's the beautiful thing about text messages these days. A lot of things are in writing. And so when you say to me, I was shocked, I got sued because I had no idea that she wanted me to pay her back for these taxes, and that's not true. The plaintiff sent you a text message asking you when you were going to pay her back for the tax preparation services that she paid for you. You don't recall getting this text message?
No, I don't recall that, no.
Okay, well, that's convenient memory loss. Based on the past and the effort she's had to go through to get you to pay her back, I don't know why you would ever lend the defendant anything else, but everyone has that one relative in their family, that one, usually it's an uncle. And you know when they call you and they want to borrow money, you're never gonna see that money again. And I have a feeling, sir, that's probably the case with you. Based on the text messages that I've looked at between the two of you, I do believe the plaintiff is telling the truth about what happened at the tax preparation services that day and that you did agree to pay her back. I'm going to award you, ma'am, your full judgment, what you're asking for, $251 plus your court cost. Have a good day.
Wait here a minute.
A pack of dogs terrorize a neighborhood.
Actually, the big dog did not chase after him first. It was the little ones.
You didn't have a chance, sir.
No, I didn't.
My dog actually is tied up all the time.
When it was supposed to be quarantined, it was in my yard.
That is a lie.
So your dogs are running around like a pack of wolves.
And later, the defendant claims he had car insurance, but Judge Faith knows the truth.
It comes out of nowhere and failed to stop.
You had the right of way?
Yeah, I have the right of way.
Okay. Did you have insurance on your car, sir?
Yes.
Are you sure about that?
It might have had a lap.
It might have had or it did.
Faith Jenkins. Her distinguished legal career began when she graduated first in her law school class. She quickly became a tough New York City prosecutor, and then a preeminent legal analyst on cable news. And now she's the judge in her own courtroom. Her cases are real, and her rulings are final. She is Judge Faith. Plaintiff Rick Hernandez claims the defendant's dog attacked him while he was in his backyard. He is suing for $5,045, the cost of medical expenses, lost wages, and pain and suffering. Defendant Vicky Barajas says the plaintiff overreacted and incurred charges due to his own behavior. She says her dog would never attack another person unless provoked.
Remain seated and come to order. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Your Honor, this case is Hernandez versus Barajas.
Thank you, Barbara. Rick Hernandez.
Yes, ma'am.
You are suing the defendant, Vicky Barajas?
Yes.
For $5,045, you say her dog bit you, and you have out-of-pocket medical expenses, lost wages, and you're also suing for pain and suffering?
That is correct.
Okay, we'll start with you, sir. Why don't you tell me what happened? Give me some background.
Well, I lived next to Ms. Barajas for about 2 years.
You live next to her?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And on the day of June 1st, 2014.
How long, you say you lived next to her for 2 years?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and how many dogs do you have, ma'am?
I have 4.
And at the time of this incident, how many did you have?
4.
4, okay. Go ahead.
I was going to my backyard and about 10 feet from the door to my shed, and I heard a loud barking noise, and I turned around and a German Shepherd was running my direction, and it attacked me and it bit me on my right leg behind my knee.
Were you injured?
Yes, I was.
Had you seen these dogs before? Did
yes,
you know
I have.
that this dog belonged to the defendant?
Yes, I did. I have pictures of it as well. So.
How did you know that?
The dog, it's been a reoccurring problem. Mm-hmm. This is not the first time it's tried to...
It's not the first time?
No, it's not.
Okay, tell me about the prior incidents.
Prior incidents, I'd be going to my backyard and the dog would come running at me, lunging at me. I'd go out to my backyard and try to take the trash, and I'd have to come back inside my house running with terror and fear.
There's no fence in her yard?
There's not, ma'am.
What's going on, ma'am?
Okay, my dog actually is tied up all the time.
Except this time?
Except the only time that we let our dog loose is to do his business. That day, I let him out. Usually my husband does, because he does have a little bit.
Do you have a
more,
fenced-in yard?
We do now.
Back
at
the time of this incident?
At the time of the incident, we did.
How did your dog get in his yard?
I let him loose that day because I was going to allow him to do his business.
Where were you?
I was there. He's never unsupervised. He is always tied, but when we let him loose, he is supervised all the time. He does not run loose by himself. The other 3 little dogs are the first ones to...
No. I'm going back to the date of this incident. How did your dog get in his yard?
By running over to the other side.
Okay, that's a problem.
That is.
That's a problem. And it's apparently not the first time it's happened.
It's probably happened, he says, frequently. I don't believe that.
You don't know?
I know that. I know he doesn't. The incident that he's talking about when he's come out of his back door to throw out the trash, my dog, yes, he did run towards him. He raised his arms up to hit him. I said, don't do that, Rick. Talk to him. He will listen.
If he would have listened, he wouldn't have attacked me.
You witnessed this entire thing?
Yes, I did.
And so you see your dog running after him?
I call out to him. And Rick, instead of calling out to him, Buddy stopped, he raised his arms out like he was going to hit him.
She constantly tells me not to show fear and try to pet the dog, but when a dog's coming at me in an aggressive fashion, barking at me, showing its teeth and fangs, I'm not going to try to pet a dog like that. Common sense will tell you that's not the right thing to do.
How many dogs were running after you that day, sir?
Her dog, the big dog Buddy, which I have pictures of.
So there was more than one dog?
Yes, ma'am.
Running loose?
Yes, ma'am.
And Buddy's the one that bit you?
Yes, ma'am.
So your dogs are running around like a pack of wolves in your neighborhood?
No, not a pack of wolves, no. These little dogs are little.
I mean,
the
you
only
seem
big
to
one
be
is
like
the German
completely,
Shepherd.
I mean, this is, I mean, and you know you're not making any sense. Let me see what Buddy looks like. Are those the other dogs terrorizing the neighborhood? And you want him to talk to the dog and call the dog by name, a dog that's charging him. That's your solution.
Listen. He will listen.
Buddy, stop.
He will listen. He does listen.
You want him to be the dog whisperer.
Coming up, not everyone wants to play with a neighbor's dogs.
You don't have a fence. These dogs are running loose in the neighborhood. When this happened, you had no fence, ma'am. Not everyone wants to play with your dogs.
And later, Was the car accident a scam?
Why do you think this was a setup?
Out here in California, it's a
Swoop and squat? So you think the other two cars that stopped for you were a part of her crew?
correct.
Plaintiff Rick Hernandez was attacked by his neighbor's dog. He's suing for the cost of medical expenses, lost wages, and pain and suffering. Defendant Vicky Barajas says her dog would never attack another person unless provoked, so she doesn't know.
What happened, sir? So you were bit. Did you call the police? What did you do?
I called animal control, and they came out to my house. They took a report, and after they left, they told me that whatever I needed to do as far as seeking medical attention, that'd probably be a good thing to do.
And what did you do?
I went to the hospital. They cleaned the wound out, made sure everything was good, gave me pain medication as well as antibiotics. So
You have photos of your injuries?
Yes, I do, ma'am.
May I see them, please?
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, ma'am, your neighbor...
I offered to take him to the hospital that day.
I object. You didn't even tell me you were sorry.
Yes,
or
I
let
did.
alone give me a ride.
Yes, I did. I did offer to take him. He walked away from me.
But why is you offering him to take him to the hospital supposed to be of some comfort? How about your dog don't bite him in the first place? That's like... Ooh.
I tried to do my part.
Those
we
are
set
two
up a fence.
teeth marks.
Yes, ma'am. That's what a nice dog usually does.
Outrageous, outrageous. And you know what? You know what bothers me? You let these dogs run loose and you think it's okay. You
No,
think
I
it's
don't
okay.
think it's okay.
Oh, you absolutely do. Because it is clear to me, you don't have a fence. These dogs
We
are
do
running
we
loose
have a
in the
fence
neighborhood.
now.
When this happened, you had no fence, ma'am. Not everyone wants to play with your dogs.
I understand that.
The plaintiff said that he had to miss time from work, go to the doctor, get vaccinations, which he has provided proof of, and you say that you don't owe for any of these things. What is your reason?
The reason is I asked him to take him to the doctor that day. He turned away from me and walked away. He never tried to notify me or let me know that he had a problem.
Okay, I'm sorry. You knew that your dog bit him, right?
Yes.
So because he didn't take you up on a ride to the hospital, you don't know? I just want to make sure I'm clear on what you're saying.
I didn't say I didn't owe.
This is what you wrote in your answer. I don't owe because I offered to take Rick to a clinic immediately after my dog scratched him. Rick refused to go, and then he has the nerve to ask me for the money for his medical bills, lost wages, and pain and suffering. Absolutely not. I mean, if you're going to be a dog owner, you need to learn how to be a responsible dog owner. Because right now, you look like a really bad dog owner in my eyes. The law is very clear. In your state, in your city, in your town, in this area, you either have to have those dogs enclosed up in a fence or they have to be on a leash. There is no other option. There is no excuse for what happened. You are responsible. This is the judgment. $1,853 for medical expenses, $500 for pain and suffering. That's a total judgment of $2,353. Verdict for the plaintiff.
Plaintiff Brenda Perez says the defendant sideswiped her car and because he doesn't have insurance, dodged her calls. She's suing for $3,807, the cost of auto repairs. Defendant Howard Franklin says he feels like he got set up for a swoop and squat to get some fast cash, so he doesn't owe.
Brenda Perez?
Yes.
You are suing the defendant Howard Franklin?
Yes, Judge.
For $3,807 auto repairs as a result of a car accident the two of you had?
Yes.
Okay, I'll start with you, ma'am. Tell me what happened.
Okay, so I was traveling east on Redondo Beach Boulevard, and I was just coming out of work. It was around 4:15, no later than 4:30 p.m.
Where was this located?
In the city of Gardena.
Okay.
Okay, so I was going straight, and there's 2 lanes blocked off. They have traffic, mine doesn't. There's no red light, no stop sign, nothing like that. And I just see the...
So you were just driving down
just
a street?
Mm-hmm, driving down the street.
No
cars.
You had the right of way?
Yeah, I have the right of way.
Okay.
And he just comes out of nowhere and I see the tip of his car, and I start honking, and I press the brake. And he didn't hear me. He failed to stop because he was going pretty fast because the impact was really, really like...
Was he turning into the traffic, or how does that work?
Yeah, he was turning into traffic.
Okay, you want to step over to the flat screen and show me where the accident happened? Okay, where's your car? Point to where you were and where you were traveling.
Here I am. and I'm just going straight. These 2 lanes were blocked off.
What do you mean by blocked off?
There's cars, like, blocked off. It's busy. It's a busy street. So there's just cars all along this street. And this lane is just alone. There's no cars there. I'm just going straight, minding my own business.
Got it. Okay, and where does his car come from?
His car comes from out here. So I'm going straight. I don't have to stop. There's no stop sign here. The light's up there.
Okay, thank you. Sir, what do you say happened?
Okay, I say it's different. It was a 3 lanes.
Right.
And these 2, and that obstructed my view. These cars had stopped for me to make my turn.
Okay, so let me just make sure. You're traveling in this direction.
That's correct.
And you were going to turn in this direction.
That is correct.
Okay, you said the 2 cars...
2 cars had already stopped for me.
They stopped for you, and she's
to
traveling...
make my turn. Something called a squat and scoop.
Swoop and squat, is that what it is?
A squat, yeah, that's what it's called.
Okay, and that's when you, like, a group of people get together.
Gather and you know, plot on other people in order to collect funds, monies from the
So
other
you think
person.
the other 2 cars that stopped for you were a part of her crew?
Correct.
And that she was driving, she continued to drive straight, and it was all a part of a plan?
Correct.
Where'd you get that information?
That's just normal knowledge from the people, you know, that live here.
Okay, but why do you think she was involved in something like that?
She was in a much larger vehicle. She was in an SUV. She had 4 passengers. Usually, they have a group of passengers.
For witnesses, is that what you're saying?
Witnesses,
so they can have witnesses?
and other participants to predict the injuries.
So everyone can collect on the insurance and they all split it?
And the fraud,
Okay.
yes.
And so why do you think this was a setup?
Because I'm like a senior citizen, I have a job, and I have an income. The
So you
car
think
was
they-
a reasonably new car.
And how would they know that?
I don't know. How would they know that?
Okay. Did you have insurance on your car, sir?
Yes.
Are you sure about that?
Okay, I had maybe a lapse in the insurance because I paid by check. The insurance payment was taken out of my checking account, and at that time the funds went there, so it might have had a lapse.
It might have had, or it did?
It did.
Coming up on Judge Faith, the defendant gets physical.
And this guy just comes out of nowhere and just starts bumping up against him, trying to get the license plate back. My boyfriend wasn't trying to take it from him or anything. You know, he was just trying to take a picture.
You got physically aggressive, sir?
Plaintiff Brenda Perez says the defendant hit her car and is now dodging her calls and will not pay. She's suing for $3,807, the cost of auto repairs. Defendant Howard Franklin says this was a classic scam using stopped cars to get some fast cash from a car accident.
What happened when he hit your car?
Okay, so when he hit my car, he backed out, and then he jumped out of his car and he came screaming at me. Hey, give me your information, give me your information. Get out the car, get out the car. And I'm just like, I couldn't get out. Obviously, he hit my door and it slammed it in, so it wasn't able to be opened.
Were you yelling at her?
Maybe, probably.
Okay, go ahead, ma'am.
Okay, so mind this is my first car accident. I'm 18 years old. I'm just getting out of work and I'm just like, whoa, like it's just crazy. It all happened so fast and he's screaming at me. So obviously I really got really terrified. I was like, what the heck? Why is he screaming at me? You know, so I decided to call the cops. Right before I called the police, the reason I did call the police was because he was being aggressive with my boyfriend. My boyfriend hopped out the car to get his license plate that half fell off the car. We thought he was gonna leave because he just backed out and just went into the other street. I didn't think he was gonna go into the parking lot. So he grabbed his license plate and he's trying to take a picture of it. And this guy just comes out of nowhere and just starts bumping up against him, trying to get the license plate back. My boyfriend wasn't trying to take it from him or anything. You know, he was just trying to take a picture. We thought he was gonna leave.
You got physically aggressive, sir?
That was my property. He had my license plate. I didn't know what he was going to do with it. He was a bigger guy. I didn't know if he was going to strike me with it or anything. So
Did you see him try to take a photo of it?
No. I was going to take a photo of it, maybe, but I don't know what he was going to do. I'm not sure. I'm not understanding your question.
Okay, I was just trying to figure out why you got physical with the young man who was there.
Because he wouldn't release my license plate to me.
Okay.
He was holding back, and I was trying to get it. So we was in a struggle for the license plate, but it belonged to me, so I thought it was my property, so I wanted it.
Okay. And so the reason why you don't think you're responsible for this accident is, by the way, the other 2 cars that you think was a part of the swoop and squat, where were they?
They are gone now.
They're gone, okay. And so the reason why you don't think you're responsible for this accident is because you think this was a setup.
Correct.
And you don't have any evidence to support that, right?
No.
Just
my
speculation.
Random speculation, yeah.
Okay. That's not a sufficient defense, sir.
I can understand that.
Because she has the right of way. She's traveling on a street she has the right of way.
Correct.
She's driving down the street. You have the duty to yield. You're making a left-hand turn. You have the duty to yield. What were the damages to your car, ma'am?
The 2 doors, well, the driver's door was unable to open, as I said, because I couldn't get out. I had to hop out the other side. The back door was only able to crack a bit and wasn't able to open all the way. And I think he might have hit my tire, but they didn't go fully into that.
Did you contact the defendant and ask him to pay for the damages?
Yes, I did.
What happened?
He never answered.
He never responded?
No, he
How did you
didn't.
get his information to file a lawsuit?
Well, the police report, that's what I had, and then it had his address and stuff on there. So
Why didn't you respond when she contacted you?
I didn't get any response. I didn't get any calls.
And now, Judge Faith rules.
Well, here's what we're going to do. You submitted an estimate showing damages to your vehicle in the amount of $3,807.
Yes, ma'am.
Which is higher than the Blue Book value of the car. Sir, you have not presented any evidence that this young lady, 18-year-old teenager, leaving work, was a part of some type of conspiracy to get you to hit her car and cause her damage so she could collect. If she were a part of a conspiracy, clearly they picked the wrong person because you're driving around with no insurance.
Correct.
Right?
But they didn't know that.
So, in any event, I'm going to order you to pay the plaintiff's Blue Book value for her vehicle, which is lower than your estimate, but that amount is in good condition. The Blue Book value is $2,520. Judgment for the plaintiff. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Her good deed was repaid with a bogus check.
I received a letter in the mail and it said the bank stopped payment on the check.
But is her Good Samaritan act real or fake?
I checked it out online from where the check came from, and it turned out to be legitimate to me.
Now Judge Faith decides which friend is running a cashier's check card.
This is so outrageous. I know we are in Los Angeles, but this is not Hollywood.
Plaintiff Brandy Mayfield says her former friend gave her a bogus check and scammed her out of money. She's suing for an unpaid loan and a bad check fee. Defendant Frank Swain says he doesn't owe anything because his check was good and he would never play his friend.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Mayfield versus Swain.
Thank you, Juan. Brandy Mayfield?
Yes, Your Honor.
You are suing the defendant Frank Swain?
Yes, Your Honor.
For $2,412 for an unpaid loan and for refund for a bad check?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, why don't we start from the beginning, Ms. Mayfield? How do you know Mr. Swain?
I was on the LOA for my job for a year and a half.
What's LOA?
Leave of absence.
Okay.
And I had just returned to work, and shortly thereafter, he began there. And initially, I thought he was an employee as well with my agency, but he was there for, I later discovered he was there for a work experience type of job, so it wasn't a job.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a social work practitioner for a governmental agency, local government.
Okay, so you met him at work?
Yes, and he was doing clerical office assistance type of things there.
Okay, and what happened?
Well, walking back and forth. There's like about 200 of us in the building, and he walked back and forth bringing mail to my area, and hi, how you doing? It began casually like that.
Did the two of you become friends, sir?
Yes, Your Honor, we did.
Tell me about that friendship.
Just started out casually, just delivering mail, files, and things like that, and became a work-related thing, became friends outside of that building. And
Yeah, and like we went to lunch, like.
But this wasn't a romantic
Oh,
relationship.
not at all.
Okay.
No.
Just friends.
Just friends. Like me and a couple coworkers, we'd go like to lunch, and he'll come with us to lunch and things.
Okay. So what brings us here today? Why are you suing him?
Well, initially, later in November, he had borrowed $250 from me. He had stated that he had won a settlement because his ex-wife had passed away due to malpractice. He's getting this big settlement.
Is that true, sir?
And
yes, I had been working on getting that settlement for like 6 years because my first wife had passed due to negligence of a doctor.
Wow, I'm sorry to
at
hear
the
that.
hospital. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, so and what
and
was
he
the
had told me
conversation?
that his lawyer needed $500 from him to close the case and get his money issued to him. Then I said, you know what? If you're going to be paying me back this money soon, fine. If this is going to get you so you can have your life can be better and give you a better start, another start in life, fine. I'll loan you the $250. So after that, a little later, he stated that his mother's husband had passed away suddenly, and he needed to get to Arizona to be with her over the reading of the will, and that his family was being kind of aggressive with her, and he wanted to be there. And I said, you know what? Since you're about to get the big settlement anyway, here's $200 for the Greyhound ticket, and here's another $50 for it, so he can have some cash.
So you
on the
gave
way
him another
back.
$250.
Yeah, so a total of $500 by this
And
time.
is that true as well?
Yes, Your Honor, it is.
And what happened? Your mother's?
My mother's husband that she is with, he had passed away. He had stage 4 cancer.
Mm-hmm.
None of my family wanted to go there to be with my mom. She asked me to be there as a moral support and to help her with funeral arrangements, reading of the will, and so on and things of that nature.
Okay, and so she loans you $500 over the course of what, a month?
Probably maybe a month and a half.
Okay, so far she's a pretty good friend to you, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so what's the plan? How does he pay you back for these loans?
It was going to come from the settlement. Once he was going to be cashed out of the settlement, he was going to, and that was my initial impression. So he presented me like February-ish of 2015 this year. He stated they issued me a payment toward the settlement of $1,900. They gave me a cashier's check, and you know me thinking
Is that true?
Yes, Your Honor.
They did issue a check towards the
I
settlement?
had received a cashier's check for $1,900.
And it was towards the settlement, sir?
I received it in the mail.
Can you answer the question, yes or no? Was it towards the settlement?
That's what my first initial understanding was of that check. Yes, Your Honor.
I'll get back to that. Go ahead.
And so I said, well, cool. You imagine that a cashier's check, you have to pay cash to get that check. So that makes it different than a personal check that someone will give you. So I had initial reservations, but I said, you know what? My thought was, I'm finally going to be paid my $500. I wouldn't have never loaned that to him if I knew I was going to have to wait such an extended time to get paid back. So I said, okay, cool. So we went to the bank.
So he asked you to put the cashier's check into your bank account?
Because he didn't have a personal account.
And you thought that's fine because it's a cashier's check and I'll get my money?
I threw caution to the wind because I think I was overshadowed by wanting to have my money back instead of doing things. I would never have done this.
Coming up on Judge Faith, Brandy claims she was blindsided by a bogus check, while Frank denies he gave his friend a fake.
This is from the company's payment department. Who is the company?
Your guess is as good as mine.
Plaintiff Brandy Mayfield says her former friend destroyed her trust when he attempted to use a fake check to pay her back. She's suing for an unpaid loan and a bad check fee. Defendant Frank Swain says he doesn't owe anything because the cashier's check was legit and his former friend kept the money.
So we went to the bank, and I was trying to rush back to work, so I deposited into my ATM account.
Did he sign this cashier's check over to you?
Yes, he did.
Okay, you deposited through the ATM, not a bank teller.
Yeah, but hindsight, I would have walked into the bank, and they'd been, don't do it. So I deposited in, and they gave me $200. And so I noticed that initially he wanted all the $200. I said, no, this whole point of you giving this money is for you to pay me back. So we split it. I gave him 100, I took 100. And then I think maybe a day or two later, we got 400 out. He gave me 200. He kept the 200.
So he was going to put this $1,900 in your account. You keep the $500 he owes you, and the rest you would give back to him.
Yes.
Okay.
Give him back the.
So what
the
happens?
remainder.
You end up the bank contacts you.
I went to the emergency room. I needed treatment. He would say, I have to go out of town. I have to make these payments. He was like really insistent. So he even came up to the hospital. I mean, I think about
came up to the hospital
thinking
for
about
what?
the character, because he wanted to continue to get the money out, so he can go out of town, make these payments or whatever. And so he came up there and then went and got the money, and then once again, split
what
that
money?
The additional, like you only can get maybe like $400 or $500 out per day.
So he's getting a little bit at a time.
Yes, and then I'm getting more payment toward what I owed, and then he's getting the remainder.
What happened with the check?
I received a letter in the mail from Chase, my bank, and they said—
How many days later?
It was a week later, and it said that it was not honored. The bank, BECU of Seattle, stopped payment on the check because
Why did
it
they
must have
stop
been
payment?
fraudulent.
Do you have the letter?
Yes.
So what did you do? Did you go to the police?
Yes, I did.
Did you make a police report?
Yes, I did. I filed a police report in March of this year.
Let me see the police report.
Oh, here's a police report as well.
Okay. Let me see the report, please. It's a fake check. It's not real. Someone probably created it on a computer to make it look like a real cashier's check, but according to the bank and according to the police, this is a fake check. Where'd you get the fake check from?
At first, I thought it was from the settlement, but I had been friends with several people online, and that's when I found out it came from a lady that I was friend with online.
I'm sorry, I don't understand what you just said.
Me neither.
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
You received a $1,900 cashier's check, so you say. Who sent it to you?
The lady's name that sent it to me, her name was Lisa.
Who is Lisa? And why was she sending you a $1,900 check?
That's what I never understood, Your Honor. I never asked for no money or nothing like that of that nature. And
Who is Lisa?
A lady I was a friend with online.
She has your address?
Yeah.
Are you thirsty?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, because this is certainly starting to be clear to me why you wanted to put this check into her account. So Lisa, last name unknown, sends you a $1,900 check just because she felt like it. She met you online.
Okay. I have a letter that came with that check too, Your Honor, if I could show that to you.
I'm not there yet. I want to talk about Lisa.
Okay.
Lisa sends you a check, a $1,900 cashier's check for no reason that you know of. You never asked for money.
For it, no.
And how does she have your address?
I had given it to her.
For what reason?
Because we were becoming good friends and she wanted to come and meet me in person because we were conversing online.
So you gave her your home address.
Yes,
and instead
I
of her coming in person, she sends you $1,900.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you don't know why.
No, Your
so
Honor,
you get
I
the
do not.
$1,900 and you what online website are you on?
I was on a couple of different ones.
What is it? Christian Mingles, Plenty of Fish. I've heard of them all.
I have been on Plenty of Fish before.
Let me see the letter. Let me see the letter. So this Lisa from Plenty of Fish decides to send you a $1,900 check. Does she write a note and say, hey, Frank, great talking to you on Plenty of Fish. I just want to send you $1,900?
That's the letter I received with that.
Because to me, if I got a $1,900 check with something like this, which doesn't even make any sense, this would raise all kinds of red flags to me.
You're right, Your Honor, it don't make no sense.
Right, which is probably why, again, you went to her for her to put this into her bank account.
Yeah, I asked her to help me.
May I see the- may I
You're
see
right,
the
Your
letter,
Honor, I did. And I did do preliminary checks to make sure that it was all legitimate.
No, you didn't, because if
Yes,
you
I
did, you know this was a fake check.
No, I did not.
So this is the letter that Lisa sent you.
It came with that check.
Lisa sent it according to you. Did you ask Lisa after she sent this to you? Did you write her and say, hey, what's going on? Why do I have a $1,900?
Yes, I did.
And what did she say in response to that?
I did email her 3 times with no response back.
So you're saying a woman named Lisa sends you a $1,900 cashier's check for no reason, and she has this attached to it, and you write her 3 times after you get the check, she doesn't respond, and you think this is legitimate?
I have no idea, Your Honor. But
I think you knew. I think you know exactly what's going on. Hello, recipient. This is someone's name, not Lisa.
Exactly.
Do you know who this individual is?
No, Your Honor, I do not.
This is from the company's payment department. Who is the company?
Your guess is as good as mine.
These funds are being sent to you as instructed by your supervisor, employer, hiring manager. Who is that person?
I have no idea of that either. But from what I understand with a cashier's check, Your Honor.
I'm not asking you about a cashier's check. I'm asking you about your story right now, which is not making a lot of sense. Please be sure to notify me via email and make a full report on payment made and a deposit slip attached to in documentation to the email above. And so you get something like this, and there are about 10, if this really happened, because you could have created this check yourself on a computer.
No,
You're coming
that's
up with
what
a
he
story.
did.
I don't know. Because this is so outrageous and so insane that someone would get something like this and you would actually think that this is legitimate, and you want to come into court and you actually want to look at me with a straight face and expect me to believe this?
I'm just telling you what happened, Your Honor.
I know we are in Los Angeles, but this is not Hollywood.
Coming up, bouncing checks and deepening deception.
I'm trying to understand whether you perpetrated this fraud or whether, as you claim, you're a victim of fraud. But either way, it doesn't
I feel
add
I'm
up.
as much as a victim as the plaintiff is because...
Either way, it doesn't add up. And then you saw that this check had these names scratched out and his initials, and you still decided to put it into your account?
Plaintiff Brandy Mayfield says her former friend used a fraudulent check to pay her back. She's suing for an unpaid loan and a bad check fee. Defendant Frank Swain says he owes nothing because he thought the cashier's check was legit.
What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to understand whether you perpetrated this fraud or whether, as you claim, you're a victim of fraud. But either way, it doesn't add
I'm
up.
as much as a victim as the plaintiff is because...
Either way, it doesn't add up. No, you're not. You're not a victim, sir, because this is what I call, if you get a cashier's check under these circumstances, what you did, this is what I call willful ignorance. You are looking the other way. You should have known
I'm far
that
from
this was not
Your
legitimate.
Honor.
You should have known.
But I didn't know, and I'm far from being ignorant, Your Honor.
You should have known. Under the law, it's called willful ignorance. So you get the check. Let me see the check. You sign it over to the plaintiff.
Yes, I did.
I have some questions. You signed this over to the plaintiff. This is your handwriting, paid to Brandy Mayfield?
Yes, Your Honor, it is.
Okay, who's this check signed over to? You have two names. It looks like it was endorsed 2 times prior to that, and your initials are on the side. What happened?
That's where I had signed it out myself to my name, and then I had scribbled it out. The bottom one was driver's license number, the top one was my name, and I had scribbled them out.
And what was the point of you doing that?
Because I had no accounts to cash it, and I had went somewhere at a check cashing place or something. I was gonna go there to cash it.
And what happened? They told you it was fake?
No, they never told me nothing.
And so then you went to Brandy? You don't endorse a check and put your information on it if you're not going somewhere to try to cash it. You went and you tried to cash this check, and they didn't let you, and then you went to Brandy. That's exactly what it looks like you did. And then you saw that this check was scratched out and had these names scratched out and his initials, and you still decided to put it into your account?
I shouldn't have, Your Honor. You know,
What did you think when you saw that?
Only thing that I think I was blinded by the fact that I wanted my $500 from him so I could have been done with the situation. And he stated, he didn't say he got the check from Lisa, from the company and the management. He said he got that from his lawyer, from his settlement. If he just said he got that from Lisa, from the internet and all this other stuff, I'd have never did it.
You told her that?
Yes, Your Honor, I did.
Why did you lie?
Because at first, when I first got it, that's where I thought it came from until I actually saw the letter and all that other stuff.
You're talking in circles, sir.
No, I'm
You're
not.
talking in circles. Wait a minute.
That's crazy.
You think this is from your lawyer, the letter that I just went through?
Not until I saw that.
Stop.
Okay, whatever.
You got this check? No, it's not whatever. It's not whatever. We're gonna resolve this today. It's not whatever.
Yes, Your Honor.
You got this check in the mail with this letter, which makes no sense whatsoever, and you think this is from your lawyer as a part of a settlement, so you lied to her. You knew this was not from your lawyer as a part of a settlement.
After I saw that letter, yes, you're right, Your Honor. I knew that part wasn't.
So once you got this check, and you knew it wasn't from your lawyer, you still gave it to her to deposit into her account.
Yes, I did ask her to help me. And then I checked it out, online from where the check came from, and it turned out to be legitimate to me.
Is there an open investigation?
Yes, I
into
talked
this?
to the detective of financial crimes of my city, and they told me that they have a lot of financial crimes going on, that I could do some follow-up calls myself because they didn't know when they were going to be able to do some investigation.
So there's an open criminal investigation?
Yes. I talked to a representative of BECU of Seattle, and she told me the only thing she could tell me, because I wasn't law enforcement, was that the check was never issued to him.
Wow.
Coming up, Judge Faith rules. And now, Judge Faith rules.
I've seen these types of cases in the DA's office where I work, these fake check cases, and everyone always has a story. It's never my fault. I don't know where it came from. There's no paper trail. And when there's no paper trail, all I have is the person who had it, because I have one person in front of me today. I can tell you right now, the detectives, they are not going to call Lisa, because there is no Lisa. You are Lisa.
No, I'm not.
The paper trail in this case starts and ends with you.
Well,
so you I'm telling you right now,
Your Honor,
you're gonna get the phone call, and you better come up with a better story than what you're telling me here in court
Your
today,
Honor,
or you're going to jail.
I called the company that's at the top of that check.
And to do this to your friend, the person who loaned you $500, this is the person you do this to? Unbelievable.
Well,
totally.
My last question to you is your name really Frank Swain?
Yes, it is.
Get his credentials before he leaves here today.
Definitely.
Judgment for the plaintiff, $2,412.
Thank you, Your Honor.
A go-go dancer and her BFF face off with a strip club bouncer they say tried to put herself between them.
As I was dancing, she comes up to the stage and starts like going off. So she got mad. She's like, "You've known me this long and you're just gonna pick her over me."
I was getting played hard, and I found out they was messing with guys for money, so I left the whole situation alone. I don't even be at the club no more.
And I'm gonna tell y'all right now, when those Harriet Tubman 20s come out, I don't wanna hear about y'all making it rain in the strip club with those $20 bills. Do not disrespect Mother Tubman like that.
And later, a single dad and a New Jersey car dealer discover they have differing opinions on what constitutes a quality used car.
And I don't know if he's just hard on cars or what, but he tells me this is all the money I got. You know, can you help me out? Help a brother out.
He giving me, you know, raggedy cars for a decent price that's only lasted me a month or two. It broke down on the turnpike.
On the New Jersey Turnpike, you just left it there. So the city owns it now.
Plaintiff Nyasha Bryant says the defendant kicked her car in a fit of rage and promised to pay for the damage. She's suing for car damages and related fees. She's accompanied in court today by her best friend, Zakia Poteet. Defendant Kayla Martin says she doesn't owe any money because Nyasha was playing her hard and provoked the attack.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Bryant versus Martin.
Thank you, Juan. Nyasha Bryant?
Yes, ma'am.
You are suing the defendant, Kayla Martin?
Yes, ma'am.
For $1,009 you say she owes you for car damages and related fees?
Yes, ma'am.
And I understand you brought a witness with you today, Zakia Poteet?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So why don't we start with you, Ms. Bryant? Tell me how you know the defendant and what happened.
I met Kayla back in November of 2015. We were working at a club in Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
Mm-hmm. Doing what?
It's a strip club.
Okay.
She was a security guard, and Zakia and I both thought she was a really cool person, so we got to know her.
And what were you doing at the club?
Dancing.
Strippers.
I don't strip. I'm a go-go dancer, ma'am.
Stripper.
There's a difference between stripping and go-go dancing.
Do you know how this works? When I ask her a question, she's answering it, and you're quiet. Okay? So what are you doing at the club?
A go-go dancer.
Okay, and there's a difference between a go-go dancer and
a stripper.
Okay, what's the difference?
A stripper makes excessive amounts of money, and they go nude.
Okay.
I don't go nude, because in the state of North Carolina, if a club sells alcohol, you cannot be nude. They will get fined for it.
But you are not a stripper, you are a go-go dancer.
Yes.
Okay.
There's a difference.
Okay.
So we became really good friends. My best friend and her end up dating, and problems end up revolving around it.
Okay, but all three of you are friends?
Yes.
And you're all working at the club together?
Yes.
And you're saying that she was also a stripper?
Yes, both of them.
Okay, but you don't make a distinction between strippers and go-go dancers?
They was fully nude.
Okay. How old are you guys?
I'm 22.
Okay, and you're what, 23?
22.
Okay, go ahead.
So I get a phone call from Zakia asking me about her son. Did I say anything about her toddler son? Of course, I got riled up and I started arguing with her, like asking her why would she say some stuff like that.
Were you telling your girlfriend, her best friend, things about her when she wasn't around?
No, Jakia was actually crying to me, telling me things what Niaja, that's a stripper named Jersey, was telling her.
And so that's how this relationship started going downhill, because you guys think that the other one is talking behind someone else's back, right?
Yes.
When did the two of you break up?
Around January time, end of January, February.
Okay, and the three of you have not been friends since the breakup?
Right, because
what
they
was the
played
reason
me hard.
for the breakup?
It's because the whole situation that happened. Like,
the car?
she basically just felt like she needed to protect me because we were together. But I wasn't okay
Protect
with
you
that.
from what?
From, I guess, her saying the things that she was saying.
Okay.
So she felt like, okay, well, you're my girlfriend, so I feel like I should have a reason to say something.
Okay.
But-
Do you all still work at the club, the same club?
No.
No, I don't.
Do you still work there, the two of you?
Occasionally.
And you don't?
No, I don't work there.
And what happened to your job at the club?
Well, I left because I was getting played hard, and I found out they was messing with guys for money. Well, I was told, rumors, you know. And so I left the whole situation alone. I don't even be at the club no more.
That's not true.
Okay, all right. So now we're here. You're suing. You say she damaged your car.
Yes.
It was over $1,000 worth of damage. How did we get to that point where there's property damage?
I was at work and Kayla comes up to the club, and as I'm performing my stage set, she comes up there and she says, I ought to pull you off the stage right now. And I'm just ignoring her.
What is it about? You have to know something's going on.
Because earlier that day, we were texting, and I told her to keep my name out her mouth, and I have all those messages here for you. And
that's all you said?
No,
keep
and
your
I
name?
told her she can go with her dead mother. I'm not gonna lie, I said that.
Coming up on Judge Faith, text messages tell the rest of the story.
You say, kill me then, B, and you say, F your dead mother, now you can pull up. What do you expect to happen?
And later, a dad brings his car dealer to court over a car that clunks out on the New Jersey Turnpike.
I purchased a car from him, and I think it lasted me exactly 31 days or something like that. The car blew up and everything.
You know, I'm asking $19.95 for the car. He's got $800.
Plaintiff Nyasha Bryant says Kayla promised to pay for the damage. She's suing for car damages and related fees. Defendant Kayla Martin says she doesn't know because Nyasha provoked her by talking poorly about her deceased mother.
You told her she can go be with her dead mother.
Yes.
And so you know why she's at the club then.
That was before, we had squashed it before. We both apologized to each other.
That day?
That day,
So
yes,
she
ma'am.
shows up angry about what? Did she apologize to you that day
No.
for saying that?
No, she didn't. She actually said, F my dead mother. And Jakia was a witness because...
May I see the text messages? When did your mother pass away?
2014.
So that was recent?
Yes.
So she shows up at the club and what happens?
She's arguing with me, but I'm not paying her any attention. I'm just laughing because I'm at work. So she got mad. She's like, you've known me this long and you're just gonna pick her over me. She left, she's like, now go outside and check your car.
And did you go outside and check your
No,
car?
I finished, because at the end of the day, I'm at work.
And you're mid-routine. I understand. So did you do anything to her car?
I kicked the car.
Oh, so you admit you kicked her car?
Yes.
Why did you do that?
Because she kept pushing buttons by saying stuff about my mother. And that really hurt because I'm still grieving, you know, about my mom passing.
So here are the text messages. You tell her you can kindly go with your mother. She'll love to have you with her. And then you say, kill me then, B. And you say, F your dead mother too, B. Now you can pull up. What do you expect to happen when you tell someone whose mother recently passed away, F your dead mother?
And I own up to what I did wrong. And I'm an adult, and I admit to what I did.
Well, you're
what I said
suing her
wrong.
$4,000 for kicking your car. You don't think you bear any responsibility for provoking a fight in this situation?
First of all, I did not provoke a fight.
Yes, you did.
If you look back at the messages before this incident even expired, She called me the B word, told me I'm a Molly head, start just going off.
You say your car was damaged. Show me the estimate, proof of your damages. Too much drama going on between you young ladies over nothing, over nonsense. Too much drama. And I'm gonna tell y'all right now, when those Harriet Tubman 20s come out, I don't want to hear about y'all making it rain in the strip club with those $20 bills. Do not disrespect Mother Tubman like that. You're suing for $828 in damages to your truck. Let me see the photo of the damages. $828 seems like a lot for the dent that I see on your car. But second of all, more importantly, you bear some responsibility in this. You can't pick a fight with someone, provoke someone to the level that you did. And I understand there was some back and forth, but obviously you went there with her, right? You want to talk about her dead mother, and then she pulls up. You told her to pull up, she pulls up, and now you want to sue her? Since I find that you bear some responsibility in what happened, I'm speaking now. You are not. We're not at the strip club. I'm not your mama, and I'm not your sister.
And I never said you was. And I'm not a stripper.
I didn't say you were a stripper. I said we're not at the strip club. I understand you've made it very clear to me you are a go-go dancer. I get it. But you bear some responsibility in this too. I'm gonna order you to pay the plaintiff $500 and you pay the remainder. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $500. Since you bear responsibility, you're gonna split the costs. Judgment for the plaintiff, $500.
I felt that the judge's ruling was good because at the end of the day, I did tell her she can go with her dead mother, and I did provoke it in a kind of way, and I'm an adult to say that I did, but at the end of the day, you kicked my car.
I feel like the judge's ruling was fair. They split it both ways, and I'm okay with it.
Plaintiff Victor Johnson says the used car he purchased from the defendant broke down weeks after buying it, and he was forced to abandon it on the New Jersey Turnpike. He's suing for a car refund. Defendant Cedric Rouse says he owes nothing because the inexpensive car was in excellent condition, and the problem was that Victor drove it hard.
Victor Johnson?
Yes, Shauna.
You were suing the defendant, Cedric Rouse.
Yes, Shauna.
For $1,424 for a car refund?
Yes.
Okay, why don't you tell me what happened here, sir?
Well, I met Mr. Rouse maybe a couple years ago, Your Honor. And when I met Mr. Rouse, I saw that he had like a car dealership, so I bought a car from him.
Okay, and how long have you had a dealership, sir?
This particular place, about 5 years.
5 years? You have more than one dealership?
Yes, I've been in business for like 20 years. So.
20 years. And so how many dealerships do you own?
I've owned about 4.
4 dealerships. Okay, go ahead.
So I purchased a car from him, and I think it lasted me exactly 31 days or something like that. The car blew up and everything. I told him about it.
You're not talking about the car in this case.
No, I'm not talking about the car in this case. This is the first time I ever bought a car. So it lasted me about 30 days. It blew up on me.
How much did you pay for that car?
I think it was $1,500. I think
okay.
$1,600, $15, $16, something like that.
What kind of car was it?
It was a Saturn Vue. So I went back to him maybe like a month later. I told him about it. He said he got something else for me, and he'd give me a good price at it. So I bought another truck from him. Then I gave him about 13, 14, 15, within that range. That lasted me.
$1,500?
Yes.
Okay, that truck lasted you how long?
About 4 or 5 months.
You call that lasting?
It's better than the first one.
Because you want a reliable car, right?
Yeah, I want a reliable car.
But at this point, you're taking baby steps to get there?
Yes. So, and then, Your Honor, my money is not all the way right, and, you know, the brother is working with me. The brother was working with me according to the finances that I had. But now, going into the next car that I bought.
Is that the one in this case?
That's the one in this case.
Okay.
So,
when was that?
This was in January, I bought the car. I think I bought it January 12th.
Is there any particular reason why you keep going back to the same dealership?
Because he giving me, you know, raggedy cars for a decent price that's only lasted me a month or 2. So when I go back to get the next car, I purchased it January 12th, Your Honor.
What kind of car was that, sir?
It was a Suzuki 2007.
And how long? And how long did that car last?
Right. Now, it didn't have an as-is sign on it. So he told me that it was a one-car owner. I think he said it was 67 or 77,000 miles. He said the car lasted me for a lifetime.
A lifetime?
Yes, well, not a lifetime.
That's
He
a
said it lasted me
pretty
for a long
lofty guarantee.
time.
But a long time for you is what, a year?
No, with his cars, maybe, God willing, 6 months.
Coming up on Judge Faith, he's got 99 problems, and the car is number 1.
I was going back and forth to work with it for about a week and a half, and then I noticed it started having a lot of noise. It broke down, so I lost my job.
Plaintiff Victor Johnson says Cedric promised to get him another car, but never did. He's suing for a car refund. Defendant Cedric Rouse says he owes nothing because Victor bought the used car as is.
So how much do you pay for the 2007 Suzuki?
I paid $1,400, Your Honor.
And what happened with that car?
It lasted me 29 or 30 days. He said it's gonna be a good car, one owner. I said, cool. So I was going back and forth to work with it for about a week and a half, and then I noticed it started having a lot of noise. So I called him and told him about it, and he said, well, maybe, you know, that motor may not be too good. I'm like, bro, we doing this again? He like, yo, don't worry about it. No. If it breaks down on you, sell it for $500, bring me another $400, I'm gonna give you something else. I said, this guy is amazing. Wow.
Did you sell him 3 cars? You sold him 3 cars?
Yes, I
okay,
did.
and this has all been within a year?
No.
Okay,
no,
over the course of how long?
Over the course of a couple of years.
He's saying that you're giving him deals because you're trying to work something out because the cars aren't lasting.
No,
you say that's not the case?
The cars go out in perfect order, ready to pass inspection and what have you. And I don't know if he's just hard on cars or what, but I keep trying to help him out because I had a soft spot for him. If I'm asking $2,500.
Why?
Because he's
you
like
sell used cars.
He tells me this is all the money I got. He picks out a nice car. This is all the money I got. You know, can you help me out? Help a brother out. So I want to help him out. You know, I feel bad, and I helped him the first time, and I helped him the second time. This next time he comes and, you know, I'm asking $1,995 for the car. He's got $800.
How much did you sell it to him for?
I sold it to him for $800.
$800,
In the interim, he only had like, so when I counted the money, he only had like $780.
Do you have the paperwork for the sale of this car, sir?
Yes, I do.
May I see it?
Yes.
Was the car sold to you as is? Because that's what he's saying. He's saying the car was sold as is.
All the cars in the lot, Your Honor, none of them have an as-is sign on it.
What do you have on the car, sir?
I have a buyer's agreement on the cards that we put on the window that's used and as is and what we're willing to do. And
so, but you would have that in your contract as well, I'm assuming, right? But the part of the contract that actually says the vehicle is sold as is, that's actually not checked. Why is that?
Because we have to sign there on the bottom of that on that agreement.
No, I mean, because this is why this agreement is set up like this. So if you're making an as-is sale, you have to check that box, but you didn't. You actually X'd out this entire portion as if it's not applicable to this sale.
Because I was thinking that is the as-is box.
It's not. There's one section here. This vehicle is sold as is, and the selling dealer hereby expressly disclaims all warranties. That's an issue for you, because if you want to come in and say that this was an as-is sale, I need to see that box checked on here, and it's not.
I understand what you're saying.
Okay.
Coming up, Judge Faith rules. And now, Judge Faith rules.
How much did you pay for the car, sir?
Your Honor, I paid $1,400 for it, Your Honor, and also...
He said you paid $800.
No, he's lying, Your Honor.
Well, you signed this contract, and it says the total is $856.
Also, when I was driving on it, I was telling him that it started knocking, and then on my way to work, it broke down. And I called him, I said, bro, listen, there's something wrong with this car. We need to do something about this car. And then after I told him that, I kept calling him, he just hung up, so I lost my job.
Where's the car now?
It was left on the turnpike. I have the proof right here.
You just left it on the turnpike?
It broke down on the turnpike. It broke down and...
Let me see that proof.
Your
on the New Jersey Turnpike. You just left it there. So the city owns it now.
Yes, they was charging me $25 a day for it until I go get it. I just couldn't afford it.
What is the total amount?
It's 25 from February 12 to right now.
So you have to pay for the vehicle to be disposed of, or else you will be charged $25 a day. And you say, I don't want to take you to court, we're friends. And you say, I'm a used car dealer, I'm not your friend. You didn't say that. A lot of times I have these used car sales, and they're from Craigslist, and you buy the car, it's yours. If it breaks down on you, oh well, because it's as is unless someone makes a specific warranty. But for a dealer, it's different. You have to designate how you're selling this car, and you did not designate that it would be an as-is sale, which means there was some kind of warranty that should have been applied to the car. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to order you to, especially because he's purchased 3 cars from you and they've all broken down in a short period of time, I'm going to order you to refund the plaintiff's purchase price for the car. And according to the contract, is $856. Judgment in this case for the plaintiff in the amount of $856.
Judgment was okay. I mean, I paid a little more for the car, but it's okay. You know, dealing with garbage, so I get garbage. So, you know, things happen.
If he had came back to me, I would have fixed the car for him. I never got that opportunity.
Michigan roommates disagree about which pet owner must pay after their normally friendly cat and dog get into a brutal fight.
I go walk upstairs and I start seeing trails of blood. So now I'm like, oh, this is not good. So I found her, she's bleeding at the mouth, she's got blood all the way down her face.
The dog had been eating her food, and his cats have been known to eat my dog's food before.
There was some kind of conflict between these 2 animals. No one witnessed exactly what happened.
And later, an unhappy client and her cabinet maker argue about an unfinished kitchen remodel.
Well, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks went by. He said give him 2 more weeks. He would have it ready. Everything was 2 weeks, Your Honor. Mr. Hartfield still haven't had any cabinets. Only thing he's doing is giving us 2 weeks and keep stalling us.
I've been doing cabinet work for about 40 years. And the thing about that 2 weeks.
So you gonna take 2 more weeks to answer my question, or you gonna answer it?
Plaintiff Jason Homan says his roommate's dog brutally attacked his cat, and then she gave him attitude when he requested she pay for it. He's suing for veterinary bills. Defendant Rosie Milkey says the attack was Jason's fault, and she was emotionally traumatized when he called her dog a cat killer. She's countersuing for therapy sessions and defamation of character.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Homan versus Milkey.
Thank you, Juan. Jason Homan?
Yes.
You are suing the defendant, Rosie Milkey?
Yes, Your Honor.
For $2,660 you say she owes you for vet bills.
Yes.
And you are countersuing, ma'am, for $600 for therapy sessions and defamation of character?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so I understand the 2 of you are currently roommates in a house.
We are housemates, yes.
In Ann Arbor, Michigan?
In Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Okay, and how long have you been living in the house?
I've been living in the house for about 1.5 years, Your Honor.
A year and a half, and when did you move in?
I moved in April 2015, so I've also been living there for just over a year.
So just over a year. So
Yes,
you've both been there for over a year as roommates. Okay, and did she move into a room, or how did that work?
No, she actually originally, she moved into the living room. There was a housemate of mine that moved her in. Everyone else was unhappy about it, but he moved her into the living room. She was supposed to stay for a month, and that turned into 3 or 4. And then one of the 2 basement rooms opened up, so she moved into there with her dog and her cat.
Okay, I just wanted to get an understanding, because we're here because I understand that your pets had an altercation.
Yes.
And there was an issue as to where they were supposed to be at the time. Initially, when she moved in with her pets, they were able to socialize. Her dog was able to socialize with your cats,
With my cat, yeah, with my cat, with my 1 cat at the time. I got another cat later. So my house, so there's like a community living space in the basement. We were all watching a movie, me, 2 of my housemates, and a friend of ours, And so I went downstairs. My cats, by the way, follow me absolutely everywhere. So I had this new kitten that was about, a little over 3 months old, and this other cat.
What's her name?
Lena.
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 Let me see the video you submitted of your cats. You wanted to show me the video?
Yeah, because they follow me everywhere, yeah. Let's go upstairs. Come on.
And the smaller one is Lena.
That smaller one is Lena.
Okay. And what kind of dog do you have?
Husky Shepherd, Your Honor.
Okay, go on.
So we were watching TV, and then basically all of a sudden we hear a big bang, and the cats run upstairs and fly up there. So, I just thought maybe the dog gave them a warning, growl or something. I wasn't sure what had happened, but I went upstairs.
But the cats were downstairs with you in the basement.
Yes, because the doors
were always. And the dog was where?
The dog was downstairs too.
Okay, so do you know what happened? Did you witness anything?
I heard a hiss and a bunch of recyclables cans scattering around on the floor, and we had all kind of went into the room, and the plaintiff was about 12 feet away and had left the door open.
Let me watch this video you submitted of the layout.
Yes, Your Honor. The seat where the roommate was sitting, he was sitting right here in the corner. This is the door that was left open. Here is where my cat eats, right next to where the dog eats, and the incident took place.
Okay, what happens next?
So about a couple minutes later, I go upstairs to, just to make sure the cats are okay and make sure everything's good. I find a trail of blood. So now I'm kind of like, oh, this is not good, right? I'm hoping maybe her, I figured maybe her paw got bit or something. So I found her, she's bleeding at the mouth, she's got blood all the way down her face, all the way on her.
So you didn't see what happened to Lena, you just see that she's bleeding from her mouth?
I see that she's bleeding from her mouth, and there was an altercation with the dog right beforehand.
Was the vet able to save her?
The vet said what looks like it happened is she was eating, and the dog, while she had a bite of food in her mouth, the dog clamped down on her, so her teeth went into her the upper part, and basically split the palate in half. She's bleeding everywhere. Also, the dog's also went down on her nose right here, and she still has a little thing on her face because of that. Other than that, she's fine.
Okay, and this is before or after?
That's after, because you see the eye thing, she leaks from her eye a lot.
Oh, and this is your dog, ma'am?
Yes, Your Honor. I honestly believe it was a mistake. The dog had been eating her food, and she was actively eating, and his cats have been known to eat my dog's food before, which normally she does not care, but she had done it while the dog was actively eating, and Your Honor, I do believe that's the only reason that this incident took place.
Coming up, the tension in the house overwhelms one of the roommates.
And he said, so what about this money? He had been standing over me, making me feel very uncomfortable. He said, I will give you a week.
And later, a couple's dream remodel results in a kitchen nightmare.
He told me that he had a job ready for me to look at before he stayed in 2 weeks.
How many cabinets did you build total?
8 cabinets.
Okay, and how many did you say you saw?
2.
Plaintiff Jason Homan says Rosie's dog brutally attacked his cat. He's suing for veterinary bills. Defendant Rosie Milkey says she owes nothing because Jason should watch his cat better. She's countersuing for therapy sessions and defamation of character.
What is your countersuit? You're suing for $400 in therapy sessions and $200 for defamation?
Yes,
What's
Your
that
Honor.
about?
When he had approached me, it was not right after the incident. I had asked, immediately when it happened, I was texting, is everything okay? I'm at work, I had to leave. And I had heard, yes, everything's okay, the cat's fine, don't worry about it. He actually had approached me for money almost a month and a half later, near the end of February.
Is that true?
I approached her about 2 to 3 weeks later.
Why?
I wanted all the vet bills to be clear, plus I had a 2-week checkup with the cat after this had all happened.
And you paid all these vet bills out of pocket?
Yeah.
Okay, and so he approaches you about money, and what do you say in response to that?
He had been standing over me, making me feel very uncomfortable, and I said, please let me think about it. He said, I will give you a week. And a week and a day later, he had come down into the basement where the incident took place, and he said, so what about this money? And I said, well, this did happen in my rented space while you were here. If it happened outside, upstairs, while you weren't here, I would take full responsibility. I would give you whatever money you want. No questions asked, we wouldn't be here. So, I had an anxiety attack when he had been approaching me. I've been stressing, money has always been tight, and for someone to be...
So you had to go to therapy?
Yes, Your Honor.
Because he approached you about paying for this?
Not that he had been approaching me for money, it was how he was doing it. He had been yelling, not to mention, he had slandered my name on social media.
What happened on social media?
Yes, there was a picture. A friend of ours had taken a picture of everybody in the house, and my dog was in it. And someone had commented that it was a large dog, and he said...
A lot of people had commented that it was a large dog, an obese dog.
So he had said that I neglected my dog.
I said, that's what happens to a dog when you never walk it. That's how big it gets.
You're saying he defamed your dog?
Yes, Your Honor.
On social media?
He wouldn't know if I did walk. I work evenings. I work 3 to midnight every day.
All right, I've heard enough. Let me tell you how the law works in situations like this, because a lot of people come in here and they talk about their dog and their cat, and it's like their child. But the way the law views it, they view animals as property. And so what happens when an animal is injured? Whose responsibility is that? Because animals will do what animals do. The issue really is, If someone was negligent, if one of you were negligent and that's how this conflict occurred, just because a dog bites another animal, because it happens in dog parks all the time where dogs are there and they're roaming freely together, it doesn't mean the owner is necessarily responsible unless you can prove that she knew her dog had a propensity to bite these cats or to be violent, and you have no proof of that.
Right.
Your counterclaim, ma'am, for emotional distress and therapy and defamation on behalf of your dog, dogs don't have defamation claims, just so you know, and $400 for therapy. If indeed you went to therapy, you're gonna have to pay that out of pocket. I don't think this is a case that warrants someone having to go to therapy on their own and pay for it and then come into court and ask the judge to reward them. Based on that, your case is dismissed and your counterclaim is dismissed as well.
It was no one's fault for what happened with my cat or, you know, her dog. It's still, somebody had to pay the bill and in order for the cat to be alive or, you know, okay, basically. So I kind of don't disagree with it, but, you know, live another day.
I feel that I will need to likely find another place to live if we cannot find peace with these bonds, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Plaintiff Makia Hunter says she paid the defendant to give her a dream kitchen, but the job never got started, and instead, she got endless excuses. She's suing for a down payment on a kitchen remodel. Defendant Leonard Hartsfield Jr. says he doesn't owe any money because he was injured and unable to finish the job in a timely manner.
Makia Hunter?
Yes, Your Honor.
You are suing the defendant, Leonard Hartsfield Jr.
Your Honor, yes, ma'am.
For $1,500 you say he owes you for a down payment you paid him for kitchen remodeling in your home?
That's correct,
You say
Your
he did
Honor.
not complete the job?
That's correct, Your
Okay,
Honor.
so why don't we start from the beginning? You hired the defendant in the fall of last year. Tell me what happened.
Well, I hired Mr. Hartsfield to build kitchen cabinets for my fiance and I, Joshua Booker, who's overseas in Kuwait. I first met with Mr. Hartsfield mid-September. He went over with me the different types of cabinet that he built, pricing, all of that. I have the evidence right here.
And did the two of you enter into a written contract?
Yes.
Yes, that's correct. Yes.
Okay, you have a copy of that?
I do, yes, Your Honor.
Great. And sir, is this what you do for a living?
Yes, ma'am. I've done it for 40 years.
40 years? What exactly is that you do?
I do custom built kitchen cabinet, Your Honor.
Custom built kitchen cabinet, so that's your specialty?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so the total is $38.70. That's what you agreed to. Price, that's for labor and materials?
Yes, Your Honor.
And this is dated November 6th.
Right.
How long did he have to complete the job?
He told me that he had a job ready for me to look at before he stayed in 2 weeks.
Okay, in 2 weeks.
And 1 week after that, he would have the kitchen cabinets installed in the home.
So he was going to build them off-site. You were going to take a look at them, and this was going to be done in a 2-week period. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am, that was correct.
Okay, so tell me what ends up happening. 2 weeks go by, and what happened?
Well, 3 weeks went by, and my fiance called, asked were the kitchen cabinets ready for me to look at. I told him, I said, well, I haven't called. Mr. Hartsfield hasn't called. However, I will reach out and give him a call. Once I reached out to him, he made me aware that the wood was on back order.
Was this in November or December?
This was November.
Okay.
Well, he said give him 2 more weeks. He would have the wood, he'll have it ready. 2 weeks passed by. We haven't heard from Mr. Hartsfield. We reached back out to him, asked him what the process. He said that he hurt his feet on the job, and he needed some time off his feet.
What's going on, sir? What happened?
I tripped over a mop bucket and a handle at a Shell service station. I tripped over, I fell and hurt myself. And sprung my ankle real bad.
When was that?
That was December the 9th.
Okay.
I went to the hospital, I had to go see a doctor. The doctor told me to stay away off my job for about 2 months.
Well, let me ask you, prior to December 9th, right, because that's a month after she hired you, the invoice is dated November 6th.
Right.
If it was only going to take you 2 weeks to build the cabinets, why weren't they done by December 9th?
Well, the thing about that 2 weeks, I told her, I gave her 3 estimates and different type doors. And on the doors,
so you going to take 2 more weeks to answer my question, or you going to answer it?
I told her to take from 2 weeks. Now, during that time, we never had a stain color.
Sir,
so I stained my color.
What work did you do on the cabinets?
All I did was purchase the material,
You bought all the materials for the cabinets?
Most of the material. I bought all the material.
Do you have proof of that?
Yes, ma'am. I have a copy of it.
And what did you do with those materials? Did you do any work?
I started on them, then she stopped me.
Okay, when did she stop you?
I don't know what date, but she...
What month?
December, I guess.
December?
Yeah.
You guess? You don't know?
I'm not for sure. I didn't write the date down, but she stopped me.
You understand what's happening here, right?
Yes, ma'am.
To this day, they don't have any cabinets. I have to figure out why. Who breached the contract?
Right.
You say she stopped you in December.
Right.
So, let me see what you say you completed.
Coming up on Judge Faith, Makia's fiance testifies about the failed kitchen remodel from Kuwait City, Kuwait.
It truly shows me that he has no respect for the people that are serving our great nation.
Plaintiff Makia Hunter says Leonard took her money but never started the remodel. She's suing for a down payment on a kitchen remodel. Defendant Leonard Hartsville Jr. says he owes nothing because an injury prevented him from starting the remodel job.
Are these the only cabinets you completed, these two?
No, I have some more, but I have them on my phone. I have telephone, yeah.
Okay, listen. You know this is your opportunity.
Yes, ma'am.
To complete your case.
Right.
And I asked you, had you finished the cabinets? You said she stopped you in December.
Right.
So my question is, what did you complete? And you produced these two photos. When did you go over to his shop?
To when he told me they was completed, that was February.
In February?
That was 1st of February,
And
Your Honor.
so what did you see?
2016. I saw just a box part that goes over the microwave. I saw that and this Lazy Susan, which should have been to go in the corner.
Well, so what's going on in February? You say she told you to stop working in December, but you told her the cabinets were finished?
I told her the cabinets were framed up and ready for me to stain.
Okay.
I didn't tell them they were finished.
How many cabinets did you build total?
Total about 8 cabinets.
Okay, and how many did you say you saw?
2.
2. When did you say, okay, enough of this?
That same day in February. Well, not the same day. When I went up in February, he told me the kitchen cabinet was ready. I went to his warehouse, seen the 2 pieces, and I didn't say anything at the time because, like I said, my fiance is in Kuwait. I wanted to go back and let him know what was going on so that we can sit and talk about it.
Okay, let me see your video statement.
Hello, my name is Joshua Booker, the plaintiff's fiance. I'm angry because while overseas trying to secure the safety of our country, I'm being swindled on simple repairs to my house. Although he's older than me, it truly shows me that he has no respect for the people that are serving our great nation. And at the end of the day, the defendant owes us for the $1,500 deposit because he has yet to complete the cabinets, meaning that I have a kitchen with no cabinets.
I also have a video showing our kitchen that has no cabinets.
Okay, so let me just watch this.
This is a wall that cabinets should be. Unfortunately, we have no cabinets. This is the top area where the cabinet should be installed. Steel box, brand new, has not been installed. Part of the wall cabinets on the top and wall cabinets on the bottom.
Okay, so I understand that's the video of your unfinished kitchen, but the question in this case is, did he actually do this work, and did you prematurely breach the contract because he actually did the work? You said you only saw 2 cabinets. You said that was in February.
That was February, yes.
So he's saying he had 8 completely done, ready to be stained. You're saying that's just not true.
That's not true.
Coming up, Judge Faith rules. And now, Judge Faith rules.
From my understanding from the testimony here today, by your own admission, you told them that you would have the cabinets built within 2 weeks. They hired you November 10th. So you had ample time, and you do not give me a valid reason as to why the cabinets weren't finished before you were injured, sir, December 9th. Now, even after injury, the doctor tells you to stay off of your feet for 2 months. You don't communicate that to them, and there are additional delays. I think there was some effort here, but the question is, how long do they have to wait? You don't have sufficient proof that the cabinets are finished, but even if they are finished now, it's been many months. I think at this point, you should just return their money, and whatever work you've done, whatever wood you've purchased, use that for another project. Judgment in this case for the plaintiff, $1,500.
Judge Faith knew I needed my kitchen cabinets. I am so glad that she saw it my way.
I just feel like I bought the material, I put my time into it. I feel like I should get paid.